Matti Zegar of Slovenia stood on top of the podium in Tampere, Finland, and hailed his family and sponsors who never stopped believing he could be an FIM Speedway Grand Prix winner. Round 3 of the series had travelled some 90 miles north of the capital Helsinki for the inaugural Grand Prix of Finland, which proved a tough night for the riders as setup and starts proved the secret to success on the night. After dusting himself off after a major crash in his first ride, Ty Woffernan, the current world champion, looked the best rider on the night and back to the form that saw him win the World Championship in 2013. Joined in the final by Zegar, Lindgren and Hancock, the young Brit led for most of the final until he lost control out of turn 3 and gifted Zegar the lead and the Slovenian his first ever Grand Prix victory.
The most important thing that it meant a lot to my family, to my sponsors obviously, and obviously to me and my team, and that's what it counts, to be honest,
Having pulled out just ahead of the meeting in Finland, championship leader Krzysztof Kasperzak now has the slenderest of leads over his fellow competitors. Greg Hancock leads the charge with Nicky Pedersen 1 point behind the pole, then just 10 points covers the next 8 places, down to Sweden's Andreas Jonsson.
Yeah, when I look in semi-final and riders now pass me, and in the final Greg lose the start, I thinking, oh my God, what's happened? I'm still in the first position, and hey, it's good for me, but like I say, it's still 9 rounds and we see what's happened.
To start to move on from here, and a couple of guys will kind of be in a top group, and that's where I want to be when that happens.
It's a lot of rounds to go, and everything is still open, like you said. So we just need to fight a little bit more, and then we will feel more confident, and then I think the result will come also.
The Markéta Stadium in Prague hosts its 18th Czech Republic Grand Prix, and it's the longest serving stadium on the current calendar. Last year, Ty Woffernan won his maiden and only Grand Prix victory to date here before going on to win the World Championship. A poor start to the opening GPs in 2014, but a 16-point top score in Finland has seen the world #1 regain some form.
Yeah, I think I'm only like 7 or 8 points off the championship lead, which is not a lot in a series so long. So we'll take every point where we can, and see halfway through the season where we're at.
Yes, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Markéta Stadium here in Prague. It's the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix. It is round 4 of the 2014 World Speedway Championship, and a magnificent setting here in this beautiful city of Prague. And it has to be said as well, Kelvin Tatum alongside me. Kelvin, what a wonderful crowd and a great atmosphere. It's got to be one of the best crowds I've seen here for a Grand Prix in Prague.
Yeah, very healthy crowd. The start and finish straight absolutely heaving. And the back straight as well, very few seats available. Plenty of Germans here to support their new star, of course, Martin Smolinski, not far from Germany, just popping over the border into the Czech Republic. Got to say, it's been a beautiful day. The back straight is still bathed in beautiful sunshine. So, yeah, Prague at its best, and thoroughly looking forward to tonight's Grand Prix.
Yep, and one of the things they're going to have to contend with, I think, Kelvin, is getting enough water on the track throughout the course of the meeting, because of course, it has been baking hot, and that is an issue, isn't it?
It will be, yeah. It's quite a porous material here, so yeah, it will be quite a challenge in the early part of the meeting.
So the first race of the night, and Niels Christian Iversen, the man in the red helmet colour, 3rd in the world, and Jare Campbell, 2nd in the world. This is the first race of the night. Andreas Jonsson and the series leader Krzysztof Kasperzak are the other riders, and headline news, Krzysztof Kasperzak, the series leader who missed Tampere in Finland a couple of weeks ago, has declared himself ready to race tonight.
Yeah, he's been having treatment in Poznan in Poland. He's been in hospital every day receiving physiotherapy. He's had cortisone injections to the knee. Practiced yesterday, said he felt pretty good, 85% he felt, and no pain. No reaction overnight to the knee injury, so he's raring to go. Tough opening race for him. Not always easy to come from the outside here at the Markéta track. And the championship leader, I was surprised in actual fact that he actually retained the lead in the championship. Just shows you how much, how important it was to have that 11-point lead before Tampere.
Here we go with the first race of the night. It's all set up beautifully. Niels Christian Iversen goes off the inside in red, gate number 2 in blue, Andreas Jonsson. Jarek Hampel goes off gate number 3, 7th in the standings right now. And going off the outside, the series leader, remarkable that he maintained his lead in the World Championship without turning a wheel in Finland a couple of weeks ago. Krzysztof Kasperzak going off the outside. Heat number 1 coming up, and as always on this Marketa Stadium track, vital to make the start, Kelvin Tatum.
Yeah, narrow track, a little bit square, dead right. Need to make good starts. Iversen hasn't been at his best in the Grand Prix this year. The inside gate in the opening race. Here we go.
Jesper Steentoft from Denmark is our referee, and Iversen's made a good one off the inside. Now he holds that line, and Hampel trying to come around the outside, and Iversen takes him wide quite beautifully, and Kasperzak charges through from third to first, and Hampel all of a sudden is scraping at the back here under serious pressure, and here coming through in blue, Andreas Jonsson, the Swede. Magnificent ride, and Kasperzak now third. It's Iversen with the lead. Jonsson is second, Kasperzak third, and Jarek Hampel, who was challenging for the lead early on, has gone to the back.
Well, Jarek Hampel's got beaten up here in the first race. He made a really good start, but just found himself squeezed on the outside by Iversen, who was really tough in the first corner. Iversen away out in front. Jonsson showing good speed to get himself into second place. Got the better of Kasperzak coming off that fourth turn. Iversen out in front. There's a lap to go. He'll be pleased with this, Nigel.
Yeah, Iversen has been absolutely flying in his league racing throughout the continent. And in the Grand Prix, he's just been a little bit disappointing so far, but he's off to a winning start here in the first race of the night. It's the world number 3. It's Niels Christian Iversen takes that checkered flag ahead of Andreas Jonsson in second. To the series leader, Krzysztof Kasperzak, but Niels Christian Iversen, who's only hit double figures once in 3 meetings in the GP so far this season, he'll feel a lot happier about.
It was a super start for him. It was tight in the first corner with Hampel coming across from gate 3, putting him under a lot of pressure, but Iversen's showing good speed out in front, and that'll settle him down.
The result then, Niels Christian Iversen the race winner, with Andreas Jonsson in second place there, Krzysztof Kasperzak third, and Jarek Hampel chasing the lead early on, but relegated to the back. It was a tough first race, that one, but Niels Christian Iversen held his nerve. He took Hampel wide early on.
Well, he had to, because Hampel makes a very good start from gate 3, and it's neck and neck here, and he keeps coming, and Iversen has to squeeze him, and that leaves him vulnerable. Kasperzak then dives up the inside, and Jonsson follows him through, and then literally in the blink of an eye, the Polish rider gets relegated to the back. Again from the start, Iversen using that inside line. They've actually flattened the curve here in the last years, and that allows you just to run your front wheel over the white line, but Iversen knows he's got to stop that run, and that puts, you can see there how vulnerable he was, Hampel, down the back straight on the opening lap. But Iversen, 3 points to his name, Nigel, and he will be pleased with that, and it could be the signs for a big night for him.
Yep, riding for Kings Lynn in the Elite League back in the UK, and my goodness, are they flying right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're having some terrific results, the Stars. And this man, Chris Harris, now, he missed practice here in Prague yesterday to ride for his British club, Coventry, and they were 8 points down at one stage against Birmingham. Harris reeled off 3 magnificent wins to turn the meeting around, and Coventry won that local derby by 2 points in a dramatic last heat decider. So Harris here arriving early on from Heathrow into Prague. It'll be interesting to see how that not necessarily affects him, it may even benefit him.
Well, he's had a hard time so far, so fingers crossed for Chris. He's got the inside gate. Iversen won the first race from there.
Harris off the inside then, and Ty Woffinen goes off gate number 2 in blue. Won here his maiden Grand Prix victory here in Prague last year. Kenneth Bier goes off gate number 3 in white. Mickey Pedersen goes off the outside in yellow. England versus Denmark here.
Yeah, absolutely, and you would suggest from the evidence of the first race that the inside gates would favour the Brits. The world champion, of course, won his only Grand Prix here last year, 12 months ago, in fine style, so I'm sure should have fond memories of this place, and he's been in good form, so I'm sure Woofenden coming to the tapes now. We're looking for a really big night.
Can Chris Harris take his lead form into the GP here? It's off the inside gate. Oh, he's got problems, oh dear. The nightmare goes on for Chris in the GP, and Ty Woffenden has taken the lead now. Down that back straight, watch out for Nicky Pedersen in yellow. Third place here is Kenneth Bier, and Chris Harris has pulled the bike onto the infield. But Ty Woffenden with that lead here, and Nicky Pedersen is going to chase him hard, you can be sure of that.
Oh yeah, it's a bitter disappointment for Chris Harris, the bike packing up before the tapes even went. Possibly paying the price for not practicing here yesterday, but gutted I was sure, but the world champion out in front. Pedersen's fast in second place with Dier in third. Wolfenden can't afford to make a mistake here because you know that Pedersen's ready to pounce if he does.
Well, Pedersen looks really quick just behind Wolfenden here. He has that lead, holds the inside line, and we're going into the last lap now. Ty Wolfenden, the reigning World Speedway champion, has that lead from Nicky Pedersen second. Kenneth Pierre is third. He's only just back from a broken collarbone, remember?
Yeah.
And Wolfenden into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. There's plenty of British fans that have made the journey to Prague here, and they're delighted with that.
Oh.
And Pedersen holds on for second under pressure from his fellow Dane, Kenneth Pierre. And huge disappointment for Chris Harris, who makes his way across the infield to go back to the pits area. But for Ty Wolfenden, magnificent.
Yeah, well, he's back to his best, isn't he? And he comes out in Heat 2 and wins in fine style. Obviously, he didn't have the pressure from the rider on the inside because that man there, unfortunately, the bike packed up on the start line and didn't allow him to have any impact in the race whatsoever. Far from ideal for him. 4 more chances, got to try and put it out of his mind, but not ideal.
Well, heat number 2, the official result then. Ty Wolfenden, the race winner. Nicky Pedersen second. Kenneth Pierre was third. 3 big points for the world champion. But for Chris Harris, his bike packed up just before the green light came on, I think, perhaps. And
yeah,
here we see it again.
Just started to rev up.
Oh.
The green light had come on and it just packs up immediately. So desperate. Also, that support for the tapes there has actually got caught with it. That was not exactly ideal, but Wolfenden then makes the start from gate 2. He's under pressure initially from the 3-time champion Nicky Pedersen. He runs him slightly wide in the first corner. I suggest that actually Wolfenden will be pleased that he won the race, but it looked like he didn't quite have the speed he really wanted. He was under pressure for large parts of this race from Pedersen in second place.
Nicky looked quicker at times there, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there'll be some changes to the bike setup, maybe a change of gearing. The track was a little bit greasy and a little bit slick, but 3 points to his name. The world champion starts well.
Any guesses as to what the problem may have been with Harris's bike there?
No idea. Could have been a complete engine failure. Maybe the chain broke, the front chain. It's very difficult to tell. I couldn't see from here any evidence of what it was, but nonetheless, yeah, not the best way to start tonight.
Got to say as well, it was completely unsatisfactory there to see the starting tapes go up like they did with the support.
Yeah.
And interestingly, they are not using it for heat number 3 now.
Yeah, that could have presented problems. Fortunately, they did get away with it, and the riders, it didn't clip the rider's helmet or anything, but yeah, touch fortunate there, the track staff. Waiting now for the upcoming race. Martin Smolinski, the German sensation. There is a huge amount of support here for him. Effectively a home Grand Prix for Martin Smolinski.
Now, we just saw Tony Olsen, the race director there, and the riders are preparing for heat number 3 here, but there is a slight delay, and you can only assume that they may be discussing the starting gate for that heat number 2. That's the only reason I can think of as to why the 2 minutes aren't on and the riders have been pushed off here.
It's possible, I suppose. Somebody may have noticed it on a monitor in the paddock, and some concern or a chat with the referee.
Well, if you finish second or third there in that race, would you not necessarily ring the referee and say, hang on a minute?
Well, that may well be why there is a delay. We haven't seen pictures of that, so we're maybe just guessing a wee bit why there's a delay, but it could be that is the scenario.
Martin Smolinski is in red here in heat number 3, and Kelvin, what a wonderful turnout of German supporters here.
Yeah, well,
Martin Smolinski had the biggest cheer on parade.
Well, there are a lot of German people here, effectively his home Grand Prix, not far across the border to the Czech Republic from Bavaria, and they've come in their droves. They really have taken to Martin in Germany, and they'll be looking for a really strong performance. He's made 3 semi-finals and won the opening round of this World Championship. Well and truly ensconced in 5th place in the World Championship coming into tonight's meeting. So Smolinski on the inside gate, he'll be fired up.
Yep, he's the man in the red helmet here. Martin Smolinski, the first ever full-time Grand Prix rider from Germany. And Troy Batchelor goes in the blue helmet colour in his debut Grand Prix campaign. Lindgren off gate number 3 now. He's having his best start to a Grand Prix campaign so far. And Darcy Ward here is in the yellow helmet. Now, we know about his knee problems. Got 16 points in Big Gosh in round number 2. But there was a time where his entire season was in jeopardy. And he did say earlier today he so wishes he was 100% on the motorbike.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but he's riding a lot right now, and he must be coming to terms with the injury. It just doesn't feel quite like it should, but he's riding back in Britain and Poland and Sweden, so he's got a hectic schedule, and he says that's just doing the trick for him.
Heat number 3 then, Smolinski off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Troy Batchelor. Freddie Lindgren goes off gate number 3 in white, and Darcy Ward is off the outside in yellow. Lindgren has made changes to his schedule. He's cut down on his busy diary this year, and so far so good.
Yeah, he's doing really nicely, and I suggest that it's paying dividends. He's in 6th place in the World Championship. He's had a strong start to this year's campaign. A quality rider that at times has not quite fulfilled his potential, but maybe this year could be different.
Here we go with heat number 3 then. Smolinski, as Kelvin mentioned, 5th place in the World Championship, 4 points off the lead right now after that dream start in New Zealand. The movement at the start, and the red lights have come on immediately. Straight away the red lights on. No messing from the referee. He
Well, there
just
was
slammed
movement
them
on the inside and
Yep.
the outside there. I think Ward was very aggressive on the tapes. We'll see it again. I think Smolinski may have moved a bit, but Ward certainly moved on gate 4.
Yep, and to be fair to Jesper Steentoft, he didn't hang around. He slammed the red lights on straight away.
Well, just a word about Darcy Ward. We know how talented he is, and he struggled a bit in Finland, didn't he? Because he didn't make the starts. There was movement everywhere. Lindgren and Ward, it would all fall back. Lindgren moving a wee bit, and then Ward really does have a go, and then Lindgren almost gets sucked in because Ward moves. That can be a scenario. But Darcy Ward, one of the most talented riders in the world, he does suffer with, if he has a fault, it's his starting. And this is a tight track. It's not easy to pass here, so he will be aware, I'm sure, that he needs to find some starts tonight if he wants to win here this evening.
Blistering hot evening here in this beautiful city of Prague, and plenty of Speedway tourists that have made their way here for the weekend to Prague. We were here, of course, last July for the Speedway World Cup as well, and here at the Marketa Stadium, where winners of this Grand Prix traditionally have a great record of going on and winning the world title. Woofenden did it last year. Is that an omen, we wonder, that will continue for the winner of this meeting tonight? But a lot of laps to be done. 20 races, 5 rides each for those of you that are new to Grand Prix Speedway that are joining us tonight. 5 rides apiece, and the top 8 of the 16 will go through to 2 semi-finals and then the grand final. So we'll do it again. Heat number 3, second time of asking.
Yeah, they've just got to be a little bit patient, haven't they? They were a bit nervy in that one. Understandable, your first ride in a big meeting like this, and desperate. Everybody knows how important starts are here this evening. It's been speaking, you can feel it in the paddock before the meeting. Everybody knows that they need to try and get to the first corner. So Ward, particularly on the outside, will be very keen to try and get across the other 3 riders.
Yep, it is tough from that outside gate. No doubt about that. Riders settling down now, just doing their traditional gardening to try and get the best possible starting position to move away from the start as we build up to heat number 3 here in the Marketa Stadium tonight. Very, very busy out there in the seats. Packed all around.
Fabulous crowd.
Yeah,
it really is
to
a
see.
super turnout, and exactly that. Great to see. The matter of fact, the town is packed with people as well. It really is a very busy spot indeed. But yeah, super atmosphere. Taking a while to settle down here. No rush for riders, adjusting the clutches and digging around on the start line. Looks like now we've got 4 riders just about ready to go.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 3. Second time after the unsatisfactory start. We're away this time, and not very outside gate. Darcy Ward quite beautifully there. Ward sweeps across, but Smolinski holds the inside line. Smolinski is a specialist at that, of course, but Ward has got some superb drive down the back straight. And how quick does Darcy Ward look here? Second place is Martin Smolinski. Third is Freddie Lindgren. Troy Batchelor at the back. But my goodness, Kelvin, Darcy Ward has got plenty of speed.
Yeah, he has. It was a super start from the Australian. He needed to. It was tight with him and Smolinski. Smolinski also looks like he's got some speed in second place. Lindgren and Troy Batchelor in third and fourth respectively. Once again, it's not easy to overtake here. Track is a little bit slick, and you would think again that's why there's so much emphasis on making starts, but Ward is beginning to pull away, really showing good speed, settling into this race, looking good.
Yep, into that last lap he goes. Darcy Ward in 8th place in the World Championship. Before tonight was level with handball, and it's a battle at the back here as well between Lindgren and Batchelor, and Lindgren closed the door unceremoniously, but Darcy Ward takes the victory. Second place Smolinski, and third was Freddie Lindgren. That's heat number 3, and what a start from Darcy Ward from the outside gate. He got it right and pulled clear of Martin Smolinski, because Smolinski is so good on that inside line.
Well, we saw him riding in Britain last year for the Birmingham Brummies, and he really did have the key to that line big time, and he went from a reserve to being the #1 there, and certainly he was a threat early on.
Ward the winner with Smolinski second. Freddie Lindgren was third. Troy Batchelor at the back there. There was a battle late on between Batchelor and Lindgren to try and secure that point, but Lindgren closed the door. But Darcy Ward, what a ride from gate number 4. Here we see it again.
Yeah, be pleased with the way the bike worked as well. He dropped the clutch, bit of argy-bargy in behind him, got very close indeed, and they did sort of fall over each other. Certainly the lads in third and fourth there did clatter into each other. Smolinski on the inside moves out. Batchelor has a real hard time there, and that really puts plays to his chances. Smolinski and Ward then hustle it round that first corner, but got to say, this is an excellent start for the Australian here, because gate 4 is not ideal. You can see how hard they're having to work. They all want the same bit of track, and Batchelor in this case is the loser because he finds himself just squeezed out. But Ward, as the race comes to its conclusion, looks really fast out in front. When the sun goes down, I do think that the track will improve, Nigel. At the moment with the sun on it, it is quite slick and it's not easy to overtake.
Thomas Topinka is the man who works on the track here, well known to British supporters. He was a real legend at Kings Lynn, Thomas Topinka. Had a spell with Workington later in his career. Yeah.
Solid rider and did a very good job.
Very much so. And in heat number 4, we've got Matti Zegar, who of course won a couple of weeks ago. Here we see Vaclav Milik, the wild card, who rides for the Full Pirates in the UK. Here's Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion. Greg Hancock, twice world champion. And there's Zegar. Now, one of the guys involved with the staging of this Czech Republic Grand Prix is Pavel Ondrusík, and he was actually a teammate of Zegar's down in Cornwall at the Trelawney Tigers, along with Chris Harris as well. So a bit of a Trelawney reunion here in Prague tonight. Heat number 4, Vaclav Milik goes off the inside in red. It's Chris Holder off gate number 2 in blue. He took a knock to the shoulder in the week. Greg Hancock goes off gate 3 in white. And off the outside in yellow is Matti Zegar.
And that's interesting you say about the shoulder injury, because Greg Hancock has actually been the one that's organised all the physiotherapy for Chris Holder, and now they're going head-to-head in their first ride in tonight's Grand Prix. Plenty of respect between the two, but Hancock's been in good form.
Yep, here we go. He's number 4. Who's going to emerge? It's very tight going into that first turn. Hancock for the trademark gate. Watch out for Zegar around the outside, but Hancock is a wily old fox. Yeah. He knows exactly what line to use, and he did that superbly. Hancock with the lead. Zegar is second. Chris Holder is third, but Vaclav Milik is really putting a bit of pressure on. But Greg Hancock, what can you say? He really did pull off a fantastic move. Not only did he make the start, but he blocks the challenge of Matti Zegar just behind him there.
Yeah, showed all his experience. He worked the bike beautifully to the first corner, was aware that Zegar was sweeping across from the outside, and then moved out to stop the run, to kill his momentum, and he's out in front. Zegar is a threat. Keep your eyes on Zegar in second place. He's got some speed and he's settling down and he's chasing hard there, trying to catch the American. Holder's a little disappointing, not quite on the pace in third place. Zegar's coming, you know, Nigel. He's beginning to push. I think Hancock should hang on, though.
Yeah, maybe one more lap and Zegar can make more of an impression, but here comes Hancock. He's going to take that checkered flag. Zegar really did come on strong towards the end. Yeah. Had a real go there. But Greg Hancock, wonderful ride from the start, and then did a lot of work early on to see off the challenge of Matti Zegar. It was almost like he had eyes in the back of his head. He knew exactly where Zegar was going to be, blocked the challenge and got the victory.
Yeah, it was a classy first corner. And it was a super start as well, because Gate 3, I had a look at the track earlier on, and I fancied that Gate 3 might not be a good one tonight, but certainly he made light work of it. He's on the golden tyre, and he makes it work.
Greg Hancock, the winner. Matti Zegar, second there. Chris Holder was third. And Vaclav Milik trailed in the back. So the 4 race winners so far then, after 4 heats here in Prague: Ty Woffenden, Niels Christian Iversen, Greg Hancock, and Darcy Ward.
Well, not too much overtaking at this stage of the night, but nonetheless, the 4 rides for the 4 winners so far have been pretty impressive. Here you see the replay here. He had to run wide there, Hancock, because Zagar would have pounced. He would have got round the outside if Hancock hadn't moved out. Greg will be pleased with the way the bike works. Drives hard to the first corner. Holder there just getting the better of Milik, and that puts paid to chances for Milik. Hancock then just squeezing Zagar in that first corner. That makes sure that he stamps his authority on the first corner and on the race. But yeah, difficult to overtake. A few adjustments to the equipment, I would suggest, to try and find some little bit of extra speed.
Yep, super ride. This was the key moment, just as important as making the start.
Yes, it was, because Zagar had that little bit of extra speed in the middle of the corner, and he may well have been able to get round the outside of Hancock if he hadn't moved off the line. A much better start to tonight's meeting than in a couple of weeks ago, so he'll be pleased with that.
Well, Matti Zegar is down in the pits area with our man Jason Harold.
Well, Niels Christian Iversen, it seems that the first corner's all important, but you've got to be pretty hard coming out that second bend as well.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's still early, you know. I think there will be a lot of different racing lines later, but yeah, you've got to be hard out there.
You look like you were determined, though, coming out the gate. That first win all important after what happened to you in Finland.
Yeah, they're all important, you know. This was only the first race of the night, so it's got to keep focused and do the same again.
All right, we know you're in Heat 5. Thank you, Niels. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, good start for Iversen. He'll be pleased with that. Obviously aware that there's plenty of racing to do, but, you know, it's a lot better than that a couple of weeks ago in Finland for him. And he's a class act. Number 3 in the world last season, so, yeah, he'd be looking for a really big night.
Yep, terrific lineup coming up in Heat 5 as well, with Zagar and Iversen going head-to-head. Harrison
Well,
Lindgren.
Harris needs a ride, doesn't he? You know, what a dreadful start for tonight. I feel for him. You know, he has worked awfully hard. Last night he rode well for Coventry in the Britain. Comes here and the bike packs up on the start line. You just couldn't write that, could you?
No. Beautiful view here from high
it's
up.
a stunning place, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the most beautiful cities in the world, no doubt. And plenty of tourists. As you said, it was very, very busy in town earlier today. And such a beautiful day as well. And they've travelled from Poland, Germany, the UK. Contingent from Denmark here as well.
I don't think I've seen a better crowd here. This is a really good turnout. And that's terrific to see. I'm delighted about that because, you know, there's an awful lot going on. But, yeah, look at that. Heaving crowd, super atmosphere. I do believe when the sun goes down a little bit, then the track will actually improve and we should see some better racing because the first 4 races were processional and that is often the case here. But riders will also figure it out and you'll see boys beginning to really work the track a little bit better. But solid starts for Iversen and Hancock and Woofenden, certainly.
But it's very, very tight for the World Championship as well. Christoph Kasperzak, of course. And now we see Greg Hancock leading the World Championship.
At 43.
Yeah, and he's 44 soon as well, next week, I do believe.
Well, you wouldn't put it past him being world champion. You know, he's riding so well, and it's coming into tonight, it's wide open. Woofenden making a huge move in the championship after 2 poor rounds, particularly after Bydgoszcz. You would suggest that he was sort of like you were concerned about him. He looked like he was really down in the dumps, but fair play to him and his team. They have done, well, they've performed miracles, and suddenly he's back on it, scoring points in all the leagues, and he started well this evening.
Yep, they are now doing some track watering, and they are going to have to keep that under control. And the home straight under the shade, but the back straight still exposed to the sunshine. And
yeah,
I think it's probably going to take 2 or 3 laps of the water truck to get the necessary amount down here. But
the problem with this material they've got here, Nigel, it's very porous. There's no clay in it to sort of hang on to the water, and it tends to dry very quickly. There's a little bit of a breeze, and it's still 20 degrees here at 7:30 in the evening, so you know the track will dry. And as I say, it will do the track a favour when the sun goes down a little bit to enable the moisture to stay in the track, and then you'll find that the material, the track will actually make a little bit more dirt, and racing lines will appear.
Yep, just waiting for the start of heat number 5. The riders will push off very shortly. Crowd enjoying themselves. As you said, the racing a little bit processional, but there's a good atmosphere. The fans are enjoying themselves. Plenty of supporters over here from the UK, which is good to see, as always.
Well, we've been here 18 times for GPs, and you know, it's been on the calendar pretty much throughout the whole history of Speedway Grand Prix. And we have, and of course, last year, of course, we had the World Cup final here as well. So, you know, it is a permanent fixture on the Grand Prix calendar, and it's a super place to visit.
Let's hear from Greg Hancock now down in the pits.
Well, Greg Hancock, great start in your win there. Well done. How's it feel out there?
Well, it feels pretty good so far. You know, it's you know, there's always the anticipation before the race starts, but right now things feel good. I got off to a good win there, and you know, got a few more to go. Lots of guys, lots of speed, so it's important to get out of the traps. It is. I mean, Prague's a really great track. It's a great racetrack, but at the moment, you know, like always in Speedway, the start is always the most important when you got 16 riders that are all fast. You were in Finland. I know it was kind of you stuck when you should have twisted. So you're happy with your setup tonight? Yeah, things are working good. You know, it's we're always trying to improve and make things a little bit better. But that's just the greediness part of me. Greg, thank you. Good luck. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Greg. And he is now the series leader, of course. So,
yeah, marvellous. You know, it really is magic how he has maintained his enthusiasm, never missed a Grand Prix. And here in 2014, he's leading the World Championship once again, so you can never write him off.
Great view right on top of the main grandstand here at the Markéta Stadium in Prague. What a view that is, absolutely brilliant. And we're just waiting, as we say, for the riders to push off for heat number 5. They're ready, and the track has been watered. And
well, I'm keeping
off and running.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Chris Harris this time. Desperately needs to get some points on the board. Has got 4 more opportunities, so you know he can still have an impact in this evening's meeting, but he needs his motorbike to stay running.
Yep, heat number 5 coming up then. Freddie Lindgren off the outside in the yellow helmet colour has had a good season so far with 2 double-figure scores in 3 meetings. That one blip in Bydgoszcz where he only scored 5 points. But Niels Christian Iversen, his World Championship form has been nowhere near what his league form has been.
Absolutely. Last-minute adjustments for Harris. Quite often when you do a practice start, the rear chain just slackens off a little bit, so they go back, get the mechanic just to take that slack out of the chain. Bikes flex so much through the corners, if the chain's too loose, it will fall off. So important to get that dead right. He'll be hoping it was something fairly simple and there was nothing too much wrong with the equipment, but he's now making his way towards the start. Big race here. Zagar and Iversen on the inside. Keep an eye out for them.
Here we go with heat 5 then. Matty Zagar going off the inside in the red helmet. Niels Christian Iversen, a winner first time out. He goes off gate 2 in blue. Chris Harris, can he get away from the start this time after those bike problems in his opening ride? Gate 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren, he goes off the outside in yellow. Good lineup this one as we build up to the action. Can Iversen make it 2 wins out of 2 off gate number 2 and deliver the form that he's been showing in the leagues?
Well, he'll come under pressure from Zagar. Zagar full of confidence, was fast. He came second in his opening ride, but he was quick behind Hancock, so he will be a threat. It looks to me that former Harris has changed his equipment, so clearly there was something wrong with the engine in the first one. Here we go.
This is heat number 5. The green light is on, and going into that first turn. Zagar's made a beauty, and Harris has switched up the inside. Lovely move from Chris Harris, but Zagar gets the speed. Everson outpaces him as well, and Lindgren's at the back now, but Lindgren is going to come and have a go, although Lindgren's almost lost it completely. But the lead here is with Matti Zagar, second place Niels Christian Everson, and Harris is third.
Yeah, Zagar's now hit the front, and you can see how quick he was. He looked threatening when he was behind Hancock in his opening ride. Made a good start, it was level. Everson was vulnerable in actual fact to Harris. But look at Zagar. Zagar is absolutely flying here. Putting away, Everson is a quality rider and he's just leaving him. Looking good, the Slovenian out in front. Harris in third place is battling hard, and Lindgren got it all wrong on the opening lap, but Zagar, very impressive out in front.
Yep, Zagar proving the fact that he started with 2 6-point scores in Auckland and Big Gosh, and has finally got it right in Tampere with his first Grand Prix win, of course, and what a ride that is here in his second outing in Prague. Super ride from Matti Zagar with Niels Christian Everson taking second place there, Chris Harris third, and Freddie Lindgren at the back. It was a good switch by Harris early on, but the two boys in red and blue were able to get the drive out of that second turn and pull clear. Matti Zagar, 5 points out of 6 for him now. That's a good start. Same for Niels Christian Everson. And third place there, Chris Harris with his first point of the night, of course, after that mechanical breakdown in his opening ride. Lindgren last there, and it means now that Everson and Zagar are the early leaders after 2 rides each.
Yeah, Zagar was very impressive. He made a good start from the inside, and then the speed he's got is really terrific. See it again here, it's close, but he just pulls there to the first corner. He runs wide, and that leaves himself a little bit vulnerable. Good move initially from Harris, but just doesn't get the extra drive on the inside to try and get into second place. Watching it again, the two boys on the inside, level initially, but the shorter run to the first corner on the inside pays big dividends here for Zagar. Allows the bike to run into the first corner. Little bit vulnerable here. Right now, just momentarily, you would suggest if there's a bit more grip on the inside, he might got a squeezed coming off the corner, but he's got loads of confidence. Feels really good on the motorbike, and he pulls away out in front. Lindgren got it all wrong there on the opening lap, and that really just put paid to him, and he can't land a bow. But Zagar out in front, 5 points to his name. Big smiles, looking good.
Quite right too. Same score as Niels. 5 points apiece, a win and a second place.
Yeah, that's satisfactory, isn't it?
Yep.
Solid start to tonight, and they're looking good. But Zagar, I would suggest, will be happier of the two because his bike really is hooked up.
Heat number 6 is coming up here. Chris Holder off the inside gate, took that knock to the shoulder in midweek. I wonder if that is taking effect here tonight. He's off the inside gate. Martin Smolinski from Germany goes off gate number 2 in blue. Andreas Jonsson, gate 3 in white, the Swede. And Kenneth Bier, back from a broken collarbone and back in regular league racing now as well. He goes off the outside in yellow.
Yes, all 4 riders, I would suggest, are looking to up their game. Holder, particularly on the inside, looked a little bit outpaced in his opening ride, so he'll be keen to try and do a little bit better coming from the inside. Inside has worked quite well so far tonight, but Andreas Jonsson also looked quite useful in his first ride.
There we go with gate number 6. That's a good start from Holder off gate number 1. Now can Smolinski use that switch up the inside line? Here comes Bier around the outside as Holder picked up a bit of drive there, and that blocked Bier's run there. Smolinski is third, but the lead here, and look at Bier with all that speed, challenging the leader Chris Holder, and now Holder has pulled clear. Super stuff from him. Jonsson now challenging Smolinski for third, but the lead is with Chris Holder, looking much, much quicker here than his opening ride.
Well, it just shows you how important it is to make the start here at the Marquetta Stadium, because he didn't in his first ride, and he really couldn't land a blow, just picked up 1 point, but this time off the inside. Came under pressure initially from Bier, but he's out in front, he looks good. Smolinski in third place is now being challenged by Andreas Jonsson. That could go down to the checkered flag to battle for third, but Holder's out in front. Bier challenging hard in second.
Chris Holder in his 45th Grand Prix of his career tonight here in Prague, and he's got 4 Grand Prix wins to his name. And now the battle at the back, still charging hard. Jonsson is going to try the inside line on Smolinski, but the win is for Holder. Kenneth Bier is second. Third place there went to Martin Smolinski, and Andreas Jonsson with that last place. But Chris Holder, well, that's a big 3 points for him. And I just wonder whether he's changed his setup after his opening ride to gain that extra speed.
I think you could well be right. He looked much better there, didn't he?
Certainly did. Heat 6, Holder the winner with Kenneth Bier in second place. Martin Smolinski was third. And Andreas Jonsson trailed in at the back. Tried everything there to try and get past Martin Smolinski, but to no avail. Holder on to 4 points now. Probably need 8 points to get into the semi-finals. 9 to be sure. And that's much more like it from Chris Holder.
Yeah, Holder obviously still recovering from those injuries that he sustained last year, but and he's had a knock to the shoulder, but this time off the inside, he's comfortably in front, allows the bike to get to the middle of the track. Smolinski always a danger on the inside, but Kenneth Bier, actual fact, showed a lot of speed early on here and very nearly gets around the outside of Holder. Holder lifts there and actually blocks the move from Bier. And Bier then has to settle for second place with Smolinski back in third and Andreas Jonsson out the back. But yeah, the former world champion Chris Holder, he'll be pleased with that. 4 points and yeah, a win to his name. He'll be chuffed.
Got a great riding style, Chris Holder.
Yeah, all action, isn't it?
Yeah, great to watch. World champion a couple of years ago, and it is almost a year now, or but a month, I think, since that horrendous crash where he suffered multiple injuries. He's talking about getting the metalwork removed from his heel during the winter. And really, the way he's come back, it is marvellous, because the extent of the injuries, including the hip injury, and of course, you're a specialist in that, Kelvin.
Well, yeah, it was remarkable how he's turned things around. He won the Australian Championship in the winter, and he's been solid as a rock, really. 11 and 10 in the first 3 Grand Prix. That'll do very nicely, building confidence week on week.
Here we go with heat number 7. And we have 3 riders who've yet to score a point up against the world champion. Troy Batchelor off the inside. Vaclav Milik goes off gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woofenden goes off gate 3 in white. And Jarek Hampel going off the outside in yellow. This is heat number 7. Can Woofenden make it count from gate number 3?
He'll be hoping so. And Jarek Hampel, this sort of place should suit him. He got beaten up in his first ride. He'll be looking to make amends here.
Oh, Woofenden jumped the start there and they've called them back.
No
Absolutely,
surprise.
yeah.
No surprise at all.
Once again, Steentoft putting the red lights on straight away.
Yeah, and no surprise. He was a touch impatient. It'd be interesting to see it again, because he may have been a little bit lucky not to have touched the tapes here. Riders going back. Tony Olsen just making sure. Yeah, he did. He was lucky because he was very keen to get on with it. He knows how good Hampel is off the start, and Hampel is a bit of a specialist at that. I would think that even though Hampel didn't score in his first race, Nigel, he is a rider that could do well here this evening.
Well, I wonder if, of course, it's all 4 riders back, as you can see, but I just wonder whether Tony Olsen having a word in Woofenden's ear there, maybe just saying that's a warning.
Yeah, they would have taken note of that, and you know, he's effectively delayed the start, and the restart is because of the movement from him. So yes, he won't get away with it too many more times before they will actually exclude him for that. So he'll have to behave himself on the start line. Batchelor, of course, he just missed out on his opening ride. He got clobbered, didn't he, going in the first corner, and it really got in an awkward position, and it put pay to his chances. Woofenden, here we go, Hancock leads the world champion. Look how tight it is. Nothing in it. It is wide open. And it's going to be one of those nights where I do believe that riders will take points off one another. Woofenden really beginning to make his mark as well, right back in the thick of it.
And after tonight, of course, we will be a third of the way through the championship.
Remarkable.
We move on to Melilla in Sweden in a couple of weeks' time. We then have Copenhagen, of course. Cardiff is on July the 12th this year, the British Grand Prix at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, on July the 12th. Looking forward to that as we build up to heat number 7, second time of asking. And that's the second restart of the night here in the Markéta Stadium, Prague, and they do some league racing here in the Czech Republic. Not very often, but they have Nicky Pedersen riding for Prague here at the Markéta Stadium. They have Pardubice, of course, which is a pretty good racetrack as well.
Oh, it's a super racetrack, and in Pardubice in October they have the Golden Helmet Race meeting, and that is once again another very well attended meeting, big international event.
Troy Batchelor off the inside in red. Vaclav Milik goes off gate 2 in blue. Ty Woofenden, gate 3 white here. Jarek Campbell off the outside in yellow. You raced on this track, Kelvin. How did you get on?
I did okay, in actual fact. In the Tomacek Memorial, I had 1 or 2 decent results, and in World Championship meetings, but it is a track where you've got to make starts, and fortunately, every now and again I could make a start, so it wasn't too bad.
Heat number 7 it is then. Woofenden's pit crew watching on here in the Marquetta Stadium. Winner first time out, Ty Woofenden, started the season with a 7-point score in Auckland, then only 5 in Bydgoszcz. Poor lead form as well, but he's bounced back in some style. Here we go with heat number 7, the rerun. What a start from gate number 2, and Vaclav Milik, but Woofenden is going to come across there, and it's all very tight. Oh, that's a nasty one. That is a nasty old crash. Jarek Campbell has gone down. Vaclav Milik is there as well. Batchelor was in the mix, and let's just hope that the boys are going to get up and walk away from that one.
You can just see how quickly the bikes accelerate when you actually come off the throttle there, and riders literally being thrown into the air fence.
Well, I think Jarek landed on the track. That is a major concern. Both riders still down, and it was a nasty-looking spill.
Yeah, it was. Milik seems to be okay. He sort of sat up. I think there's more concern about Jarek Campbell at this stage. Batchelor was involved, as you rightly say, and they seemed to...
they just bunched up, didn't they?
He was the meat in the sandwich, and then he straightened up, and that collected Milik. And then when the bike actually, when you come off the throttle...
Well, they're calling for an ambulance straight away for Jarek Campbell.
He landed awkwardly.
Yeah, they know there's something wrong down there. His pit crew, they're signalling for the ambulance to go across to Jarek straight away. So quite clearly, there must be something obvious that is wrong there for Jarek. And such a shame. Vaclav Milik is there, sat up. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before he'll walk away, but you never... This is just a part of the sport where, you know, a stadium can go silent, and it just underlines the danger of Speedway.
Tough game, really tough game, and injuries, unfortunately, are part and parcel of it. Fingers crossed, it looks like that Jarek Campbell is struggling down there, and do hope it's not too serious. It was a nasty-looking incident, and as I say, the bikes actually accelerate when you come off the throttle because the back tyre catches up with itself. You then actually get a surge of speed, and things happen so very quickly.
Yeah. So the ambulance is out there, as we say. If you have just joined us here in Prague tonight, we have just seen a very, very nasty collision, and Jarek Campbell is having treatment down there. Vaclav Milik is the man who's walking away. Jarek Campbell, though, right now is still down on the track.
Well, the bike, you can see it.
The bike is a real mess on the centre grid.
Yeah, it really has taken a heavy impact there. And it's a lot shorter than it should be, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the world number 2 looks like he could be in some trouble here.
Yep, fingers crossed. And a lot of concern from the fans for Jarek Campbell. British fans will be familiar with Jarek, of course, from his time with the Ipswich Witches back in the UK. And top performer, Jarek Campbell. We recall the last bad injury we saw Jarek have was a couple of years ago in Copenhagen when he dislocated his ankle and broke his leg. And
well, he's moving around a bit.
As soon as we get some information from down on the track about Jarek, then of course we will let you know.
Well, Vaclav Milik, obviously now he seems to have recovered quite well. He's now jogging back to the paddock, and so he'll be ready to go. We're going to see some replays now. It'll be interesting to see really what was the catalyst for the accident. Woofenden makes a super start from gate 3. Milik, they're all coming across. Batchelor there right on the inside. Yeah, he straightens Milik up and he clouts then. That was the problem, wasn't it?
Oh.
And
Well, he was almost collected by the bikes, wasn't he, Jarek Campbell? He landed on the track as I suspected.
Well, Batchelor and Milik, obviously, there's a clash there and it straightens him up, and that takes, then he rides into the side of... Look how quickly that happens. But
he just let go of the bike, he had to.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's just slammed in. You called it, actually, Nigel. It looks like he hit the track initially, so the no energy didn't hit the air fence to absorb all the energy.
Oh.
Yeah, that impact there on the track. How lucky was he? That bike literally just clears him.
I'm told he's on his feet, Kelvin.
Well, that's remarkable. I would think he must have been winded at the very least.
Yeah. Well, that is truly
you'll
remarkable.
see now, when he gets off, he hits the track very hard. Milik's fortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm delighted.
That's brilliant.
Now,
Great to see.
Now I must say I've got to reflect on, is there an exclusion?
Yeah, that's the next question now.
Is there an exclusion? Because he looks like he'll probably be okay to have a ride. There's no exclusion lights on, so it could well be that all 4 will go back in.
Well, it's great to see Jarek Campbell walking
Well, I
away.
feared the worst there, you know.
I've got to say as well, the talk about the air fences, of course, the way he hit that air fence as well. Initially, it bounced off the track and then with some force into the air fence. If that wasn't an air fence, he could have been in serious trouble.
Yes, without question. The initial impact onto the track has caused the concern, I would think. He has slammed into it, clashed with Bachelor and Milik. Milik's got nowhere to go, runs straight in the side of Hampel, and then they bounce into the air fence. But it's that initial as he sort of really does thump the track hard. It's a big one. But referee, I don't know if the referee is going to make a decision here regarding an exclusion, or he'll just put all 4 back, because the catalyst, in actual fact, is Bachelor just running into the side of Milik there, who straightens up and just runs into the side of Hampel.
Yeah, it's a nasty landing for Milik as well. But initially, Jarek Campbell's pit crew, they did call for the ambulance. But there is the thumbs up from Jarek Campbell. Plenty of Polish fans here tonight.
Oh.
And it does appear as though Troy Bachelor is the man who is going to be disqualified from the restart.
Yeah, well, he was the man that caused that the incident. He runs into the side of Milik. He won't feel pleased about that, I'm sure. He will feel aggrieved, and he may well be angry, but Jesper Steentoft, the Danish referee, has made that call, and that's a big blow for Bachelor.
Well, that is the most important thing. The riders have walked back to the pits. And I can only assume that you're spot on there, Kelvin. The reason they called for the ambulance was because he was probably out of breath, badly winded, struggling for breath.
When they got there, he can't breathe, and a lot of concern, and rightly so. But when you see him, generally, look at the state of that motorbike.
He won't be on that in the rerun.
Doubt it very much.
Or maybe even his 3rd ride or his 4th ride.
No, that one's retired for the evening, Nigel. That one does look second-hand. I would think also Vasiliev Milik's bike will be a little bit worse for her as well. So plenty of work going on in the pits, handlebars, wheels, all sorts of action. Hampel now adjusting the clutch on his 2nd bike. A fresh tyre going in to replace the one that was in the other bike. New tear-offs going onto the goggles. Just now having to refocus. It's tough now, like you've got to put that to the back of your mind and you've got to get on with it. Meanwhile, the world champions just happen to be
get on with it.
He's having to be very patient, of course, because he missed all the action because he was in front.
Yeah, Woffenden with his crash helmet already on, ready to go. But the race director will allow extra time for the riders to prepare. Let's hear from Chris Holder now on his thoughts on the meeting so far. He's with Jason Harold.
Chris Holder, you had a 3rd in your first. You've come out with a win. What did you change?
Everything. My first one I made a really good start, but then bike wasn't working the whole track, and they were just going away from us. And then made a few changes, and I was going to change bikes, but stuck with it, and it worked then. But still not really happy with it. It's still not good enough. But it's always good to get a win. So off the inside gates.
So you could be even faster next time out.
Got to be. I don't think that was good enough. So it needs to be working a little bit better to be comfortable. But no, it's good. You got to make advantage of the inside, and a good win there was good.
Your guy there, your fellow countryman Troy Bachelor, he was in the thick of the action. What did you make of that smash?
Tight first corner. Everyone wants to get to the line that you got to be on, and one bumps into one, the next one, and it's never nice to be on the receiving end of one of them.
All right, thanks for talking to us, Chris. Good luck.
Yeah, it was the domino effect, wasn't it, in the first corner there that created that. Bachelor will be frustrated, of course, because he did really well in Finland, and got to the semi-finals and looked like he was enjoying it, but yeah, just a little bit hard in the first corner. It is a bit narrow here, and that was the result of that move. Hampel just being asked if he's okay. Yep, he looks good. He's ready to go, but frustration for Bachelor for sure.
Yeah, so it's ruthless, it's tough. That's Speedway, and heat number 7 is coming up. I think Tony Olsen was just asking Jarek if he's okay and ready to go for the restart as we build up to heat number 7 here. This is where the pit crew really do earn their money as well.
Certainly do. They'll be keeping their fingers crossed that the second bike works well for them. He had a poor start, of course, Hampel. Had a tough night so far. He failed to score in his opening ride when he got caught on the outside and got relegated to the back, and then he bites the dust hard in his second outing, so he's going to have to use all his experience now to try and really dig in. The world champion having to be patient, not ideal. He wants to get on with it, and again you're out in front. It's always frustrating when you hit the front and the red lights come on, because you feel like you've done the hard yards into the first corner, you've made the start, and then all of a sudden you've got to try and do it again. Looks like the 2 minutes is on, Nigel, so riders should be appearing out onto the track any moment.
Yep, the 2-minute time allowance has come on as we prepare for heat number 7. Jari Campbell in the yellow helmet colour. Remarkable, really, these Speedway riders, the guts and determination that they show. It was a matter of only minutes ago that an ambulance was being called for Jari Campbell, and we thought he was in deep trouble. And here he is going out for a 3-man restart with no Troy Batchelor here. Vaclav Milik made a good start there in heat number 7. Woofenden will now be desperate to make it count once again after he held the early lead there in heat number 7. A terrific round of applause as Jari Campbell comes round to the start line with heat number 7 coming up, and Vaclav Milik as well. Great appreciation from this crowd here.
Yes.
That both riders are back and ready to go.
Nice touch there. An appreciative crowd. And they knew how hard that was. It was a dramatic crash, and they're delighted to see the 2 lads back on the bikes and out for the rerun. Woofenden's gone back to the pit gate and just wants the clutch adjusted. Just turning in the springs there, just half a turn. Wants a little bit more bite in the clutch when he drops it. And he knows how important it is, because I tell you, Hampel, if he hits the front, he can be really difficult to peg back. We've seen time and time again Hampel turn his nights around after a poor start, so don't put it past him to win this rerun.
Here we go with heat number 7 then. There's no rider on the inside. Troy Batchelor disqualified, of course. Vaclav Milik goes off gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woofenden gate 3 in white. And Jari Campbell going off the inside in yellow. Great to see Milik and Hampel ready for action as heat number 7 is upon us here in Prague tonight. Sun just setting behind the main stand here. Here we go, heat number 7. Do it again, and away from the start. Woofenden is going to hit that first turn. That's a good start from Ty Woofenden. And now Hampel is going to go wide, but has lost ground on Milik, who holds second place there. Big cheers from the Czech Republic fans here. But Ty Woofenden has that lead now. Can he make it 2 wins out of 2? He's got time for a look over his left shoulder. Milik second, and Jari Campbell is third.
Yeah, super start from Ty Woofenden. Really did dig in on the start line, and the bike worked really nicely to the first corner. He'd been chuffed to bits about that. Milik was super in the first corner, and he stopped the run from Hampel on the outside, and Hampel really can't get to the wild card, and the home crowd will be really pleased with this. This is a super ride from Milik in second place. But Woofenden looking like he's going to go back-to-back wins, back to his best. Looking good here tonight.
Yep, he did say he was looking forward to coming back to the Marquetta Stadium, the scene of his one and only Grand Prix victory. That memorable night last year when he stood on the top step of the podium for the first time. Can he do it again for a second successive year? He's got 6 points out of 6, and the British fans are jubilant here in Prague tonight. There's plenty of Union Jacks waving around this Marquetta Stadium here, and Ty Woofenden has made a great start to this GP with 2 wins to his name, 6 points, and already quite clearly feeling confident of a place in the semi-finals.
Well, he's made 2 textbook starts, and he's hit the front and shown speed. So yeah, he's in top form. He's going to be a tough man to beat. Already 2 wins to his name. Great start to tonight's Grand Prix for the world champion.
Woofenden the winner with Milik second, and Jari Campbell was third. Troy Batchelor disqualified from that race, and it means that Woofenden now goes to the top of the standings with a maximum 6 points from 2 rides. Heat number 7, Woofenden delighted. So far, so good for him.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got a new member of his team there alongside him, Craig Cummings, who turned up in Finland and is back here this evening, and certainly they are working well. Look at this. Milik does a great job in the first corner there. Looking at Woofenden once again, great start, and the bike works really nicely, digs in and pulls hard all the way to the first corner. Milik then causes problems for Hampel in the first corner, and Hampel then gets stranded on the outside and can't land a blow. Meanwhile, the world champion is looking silky smooth out in front. The team are absolutely delighted, riding every moment of every race with him. But Ty out in front, 6 points to his name.
Yep, terrific stuff from Woofenden, and it's fair to say the world champion is back on form after his early season concerns. He said that he never lost faith in his own ability. He felt physically fine, but there were issues that needed addressing, and they've clearly been addressed as we build up now to heat number 8. A couple of race winners here in this race.
Is a lineup.
What a lineup, absolutely. Heat number 8 it is. We've got Christoph Kasperzak, the former series leader. Here's Darcy Ward, who was so impressive in his opening ride. He's going off gate number 3 here. We've got 3 times world champion Nicky Pedersen and twice world champion Greg Hancock. 5 world titles here in heat number 8. Here's your lineup. Christoph Kasperzak going off the inside. Still has that knee problem, of course. It's not going away overnight, that's for sure. Nicky Pedersen goes off gate number 2 in blue. Darcy Ward, also a member of the Dodgy Knee Club. He goes off gate number 3 in white. And Greg Hancock goes off the outside.
He's another member of it. He wears CTI braces all the time. They've all got dodgy knees. So got to get on with it. And Greg Hancock was supreme in his first ride. But this is a terrific lineup, very hard to call. Kasperzak on the inside could be a danger.
Here we go then. Heat number 8. Here's Steve Tom puts the green light on. Hancock's made a good one, but so has Ward off gate number 3. Darcy Ward clamps the inside line. Here comes Hancock around the outside. Ward really closes the door ruthlessly, and Nicky Pedersen comes through. Now he's going to take Hancock out. Hancock almost loses it, and Ward has the lead, and Pedersen is chasing down Darcy Ward hard here. Kasperzak third, Hancock at the back, but Pedersen has got loads of speed, Kelvin.
He has indeed, and he was ruthless on the opening lap. He gave no room to Greg Hancock in the bottom corner, and Hancock very nearly came off the bike. Remarkable how he stayed on. Ward once again out in front has resisted the charge from Nicky Pedersen. It's looking like he's beginning to pull away. Kasperzak in 3rd place, and disappointment for Hancock out the back, but Darcy Ward really looking strong tonight.
Yep, into the last lap here of heat number 8. Darcy Ward set to join Ty Woofenden on a maximum 6 points from 2 rides here. This is a super ride because he was under pressure early on. Pedersen was pushing him hard, looks over his shoulder, and it's Darcy Ward who makes it 2 wins out of 2. Nicky Pedersen was 2nd. 3rd place there was Christoph Kasperzak, and Greg Hancock did well to maintain control of the bike because Nicky Pedersen, well, he was in front of him, he held the line, and Greg Hancock almost lost control of the bike and finished last there. But what can we say about Darcy Ward? It's the young guns who are leading the GP. Maximum Men, Darcy Ward and Ty Woofenden. Great stuff from those boys. Heat number 8, Ward the winner. 2nd place was Nicky Pedersen. 3rd place there went to Christoph Kasperzak, and Greg Hancock trailing in at the back. So Ty Woofenden and Darcy Ward, 6 points out of 6. They are the maximum men after 8 heats here in Prague.
Yeah, that was a super ride from Darcy Ward. You've got to say, that was a hell of a lineup. Very difficult to call a winner, and he does remarkably well. Gate 3 has worked well. I didn't fancy it at all, but look how close it was going in the first corner, and Ward gets to the front. Hancock on the outside then gets really squeezed out there. It's difficult, very narrow coming into turn 3. Pedersen allows the bike to run deep into the corner and leaves nowhere to go for Hancock. He does well just to stay on board. Pedersen very nearly gets to the front. Look how tight that was. Hancock all over the place. How on earth he hung on, he can't believe it. Kasperzak then gets into 3rd place, but super ride from Darcy Ward. The Australian has started in fine start. He's found 2 starts tonight, and he needs them here this evening, and if he keeps doing that, he's going to be a big danger for a win here tonight. Ward, so talented, coming to terms with that dodgy left knee he's got. He looks good.
Well, it's only my own mathematics, but I reckon Nicky Pedersen leads the World Championship now after those 2 second places, but that's more like it from Darcy Ward. He is a brilliant talent. Delighted to see him racing after his knee problems. And Ty Woofenden is with our man Jason Harold.
Well, Ty Woofenden, 2 rides, 2 wins. We're talking about this being a happy hunting ground for you. You've got to be happy with those 2.
Yeah, it's only early doors, but yeah, 2 wins. Gate 4 in the next one's always tough, but just watching the boys have a bit of an argument, Nicky's up to his old tricks again.
Well, you had to make the start, what, 3 times there after being called back twice. How tough is that on both man and machine?
Yeah, it's tough at times, but hopefully I didn't use up all my starts and then reruns. But we just keep pushing hard and keep trying to score points and see where we're at getting into the semis.
Thank you, Ty. Good luck.
Cheers, guys.
Well, a perfect start for the champion tonight. Obviously, a little bit of aggravation going on in the pits there with, I would suggest, between Greg Hancock and Nicky Pedersen. That was quite a tough first lap from those 2 riders, particularly for Hancock, who got on the receiving end through that bottom corner. But it's not easy, in actual fact, going into turn 3 here, because he got alongside Hancock going down the back straight, and it's very narrow. There's not a lot of racing room. And we have seen, I think, Emil Saifudanov has had a bad crash going in there in the past, and it is often a place where accidents can and riders can come together. Speedway is gently getting better. You just sense that the track is improving a little bit. Riders are still tense. They know how much pressure there is on them to make the start and to hit the front. So yeah, can't relax here this evening, that's for certain.
Yep, it's tough, isn't it? Because the riders know the importance of making the start here, and when it's so hard to pass, some riders will just go that extra mile and that extra desperate measure to try and get an advantage. And Darcy Ward, another maximum man so far, he's with Jason.
Well, Darcy Ward, you're at the top of the leaderboard as well with Ty Woofenden, 6 points, but doing it the easy way. You've made 2 great starts.
Yeah, a little different, isn't it? Yeah, it's been good so far. It's only 2 heats, anything can happen, so just keep going, but it feels pretty good now.
That one start, though, the big blast from the outside, that must have felt good coming into fresh air.
Yeah, it's don't know, it feels good. I don't often do that, but 2 from 2, I'll take that. But I've been working hard to try to do what I'm doing, and it's getting somewhere.
How is the knee shaping up? How's it holding out? Because I know you've got to put your leg down here. You haven't in previous GPs very much.
Yeah, the knees, to be honest, it's not bad. It's probably, nearly as good as I could imagine. So that's pretty good. It's not giving me any grief, and I can still keep pushing forward and getting better. So stay on the bike and no silliness like in that race I seen, and we'll be right.
Cheers, Darcy.
Yeah, he's looking good this evening, and starts for him have always been a bit of a problem, but certainly in the first 2 rides here tonight, he's looked good. Greg would be a touch frustrated, I would think, after that last ride, because he was...
Touch angry as well, I would think.
Yeah, I don't think that's too strong, and he was left in all sorts of trouble in that bottom corner with Nicky Pedersen coming up the inside. Thomas Goller, please come back. Well, he was something quite special, and he rode very well here at times. Well, he rode everywhere good at times, if the truth be known. He was a class act, that's for sure.
Yep, we do miss Thomas Gollop. Heat number 9 is coming up next. Greg Hancock has got to get himself dusted down and ready for action. And, yep, Nicky Pedersen, my mathematics haven't deserted me totally. 38 points. My old teacher will be delighted. Greg Hancock, Greg Hancock and Christoph Kasperzak, 37. Chris Holder, 36. Now, Woffenden's 2 wins and Ward's 2 wins have propelled them right up the standings. Ward on 35, Woffenden and Smolinski on 34, and Zagar 32.
Well, Woffenden is a remarkable story already. When you consider how poor he was in Bydgoszcz, and he was languishing down in the lower regions of the World Championship chase. In less than 2 meetings, he is now well and truly in the thick of the action and is really looking like a world champion. And certainly a rider that everybody in the paddock now will be aware is going to be a major threat for this year's title as well. Looking good so far tonight. Championship nip and tuck between all these boys.
Yep, very much so. And good to see Milik and Hampel walk away from that horrendous crash that we saw a little bit earlier. When you see guys on the track signalling for the ambulance, you do fear the worst, don't you?
Well, yeah, I did myself then, because the mechanics that arrived at the scene gestured for the ambulance to go immediately, so there was some concern about Hampel that he may well be in some sort of distress. He probably was, in actual fact. He was struggling for breath, I would think. But fortunately, he's been able to get back on the motorbike. But he's still got work to do. He's only scored 1 point from 2 rides. So Jarek will have to dig deep in the next 3. Iversen started well. 5 points, and he'll be satisfied with that. Zagar and Everson, in actual fact, they went head-to-head in the last race. They've actually got the same engine tuner as well. So Anton Nischler for the south of Germany does solid work, and those two boys both looking fast here tonight.
The number 9 it is then here at the Markéta Stadium in Prague. This will be the third ride apiece for these riders. And we remind you, of course, that we move on to Manila in Sweden for the next round of the World Championship in 2 weeks' time. We're back there after a year's absence. And then Copenhagen in Denmark. And then Cardiff. So, great lineup. And heat number 9 is coming up. Well, there's Greg Hancock, a man who I'm sure will be wound up for points here. Be looking to make up for his last place there. But it's a tough old lineup. Kenneth Pierre had a bit of speed in his opening ride as well. As we build up to heat number 9, he's going off the inside gate in the red helmet colour. Troy Batchelor hasn't scored yet. And as you said earlier, Kelvin, that's a disappointment for him because he had a good performance in Tampere a fortnight ago. 10 points, double figures.
He looked a lot better, and both those riders that you mentioned there, Hancock and Batchelor, will be very keen to get amongst the points this time. And Kenneth Pierre's second place last time looked like he was found a lot more speed, just got balked, but certainly he looked a lot better. Last few adjustments for Niels Christian Everson, changing equipment. Looks like that may well be a clean bike, so he's decided to give this one a run out, see if he can find a little bit more speed. He's had a good start to the night, so he's got that 5 points in the bag, wants to make sure he's on the right bike.
Here we go then, heat number 9, another terrific lineup. Third ride each coming up for these 4 riders. In number 9, your lineup then. Kenneth Pierre goes off the inside. The Dane in red, 3 points so far. Greg Hancock looking to make up for that last place last time out. Gate 2 in blue. Niels Christian Everson goes off gate 3 in white. Troy Batchelor going off the outside in yellow. As we build up to heat number 9, Richard Child watching on from the Greg Hancock team here tonight. Kenneth Pierre going off the inside gate in red, back in the GP this year after an absence of last year, of course, and very quick on his day as well. Kenneth Pierre off the inside gate, a teammate of Everson's in Kings Lynn in the UK, and what a fantastic season the Stars are having as well. As we build up to heat 9 then, wait for the green light, here we go, heat number 9. And Hancock's made a good one off gate number 2 in blue. Superstar from Greg Hancock. And now around the outside comes Everson down the back straight. Oh, lovely move from Niels Christian Everson in white. Got the drive coming out of turn 2. And that was a lovely move from Everson. Hancock is second. Batchelor now is putting Hancock under pressure. And Kenneth Pierre is at the back. But Kelvin, what a move from Niels Christian Everson. He spotted the opportunity. And right on cue, he came past it.
Yeah, fabulous move from the first corner from Niels Christian Everson. Really has made that bike work. Great start initially from Hancock, and just got caught out coming off the first corner. He's pushing hard in second place. They're close. It's neck and neck. Everson down the back straight with the American chasing hard. Pierre, who was looking impressive in the previous ride, is struggling in 4th place. And Batchelor looks like he's going to hang on to that 3rd place, but Everson looking like he could move on to 8 points here. He's enjoying the best Grand Prix of the season so far.
Change of bike, and it's paying dividends here.
Yeah.
From Niels Christian Everson. Coming out of turn 4 for the final time. It's a big win, and that's 8 points for Everson. And here you can start looking forward to the semi-finals, you feel, after that. Big race win. Second place was Greg Hancock there. Batchelor gets a point on the board as well. Pierre at the back, but that was a fantastic move from Everson, because when Greg Hancock makes a start, it's very rare that he's passed. But on that occasion, Everson got the drive coming out of that second turn, down that back straight. Wonderful, wonderful move.
Yeah,
from Niels Christian Everson, and it's 2 wins in 3 outings for him now. Hancock second, Batchelor was third, and Kenneth Pierre at the back there. So 8 points out of a possible 9 now for Niels Christian Everson, and he is looking good now and can surely feel as though he's got 1 foot in the semi-finals. 8 points should do it, particularly when you've got 2 race wins under your belt.
Well, certainly, and he didn't make the semi-finals, of course, in Tampere, but here, it's a great start initially from Hancock. He makes a really good fist of it. decides to stay on the inside of the first corner. That leaves the room on the outside, and Iversen takes full advantage. On that second bike, he looks pretty fast. I've got to say that Hancock does respond very well and actually chases him pretty hard. And it's Batchelor and Bier out the back this time. Bier in third place early doors, but fair play to Troy Batchelor. He creeps around the inside and gets himself into third place nicely. But Niels Christian Iversen, 8 points out of 9. Team boys there, absolutely chuffed to bits with this one. And they made a big call by changing the bike, and it paid big dividends.
Certainly did. Niels Christian Iversen, world number 3. Really was a terrific season that he had last year. Has won 2 GPs. It's his 42nd Grand Prix of his career here tonight, and 8 points out of a possible 9. Here we go with heat number 10 now. Darcy Ward, unbeaten so far. He goes off the inside gate. This is Andreas Jonsson off gate 4 yellow with 2 points to his name so far. Can anybody stop Darcy Ward? He goes off the inside gate then here in red. Darcy Ward off gate number 1 then. Gate number 2 in blue is Chris Harris with a 1 point to his name. 2 points to Vaclav Milik's name. He's off gate number 3 in white. And going off the outside, Andreas Jonsson needs points. 2 points from 2 rides.
Yeah, not enough, and he needs to find a start. Ward, who's had 2 super starts so far and has been looking very impressive out in front, but tonight that is the nature of conditions. You hit the front and life is a lot easier. Harris has had a tough night so far. He needs to find a big start out of gate 2. Certainly Hancock made it from there in the previous race. Ward, the danger man for the other 3. He's on the inside. Can he do it again?
Here we go with heat number 10. Little bit of movement there at the start, but the referee has allowed it to go. And Ward's made the start, and Harris up the inside. What a move, and now Ward goes wide. Milik's come through, and Harris has gone to the back. The lead here is with Darcy Ward, and Jonsson now is challenging Vaclav Milik, but Milik holds his nerve, and now Jonsson just comes through. Harris is having a go as well, but Darcy Ward has that lead, looking set for a 3rd straight win here.
Well, fabulous start once again on the inside from Darcy Ward, and he was away. Fantastic action coming out of the first corner. Harris was on the inside, and Milik and Jonsson then pounced. Got to say, Harris is moving well to get back into 3rd place. But Darcy Ward looking fabulous out in front, really fast. Jonsson charging hard in 2nd, with Harris now beginning to make a bit of an impact in 3rd place. Ward looking for 3 on the spin. Could go to the top of the charts at this stage.
Yep, very much so. It really has been a brilliant display from Darcy Ward down that back straight. Look at the length of his lead. He really is looking comfortable here. Harris is going to try the inside line on Andreas Jonsson, but Jonsson's got the speed. Yeah. Harris is 3rd there, and Vaclav Milik at the back. But what a ride. Darcy Ward, 3 rides, 3 wins, and going so well here tonight. He does have that 1 Grand Prix victory under his belt in Copenhagen, of course. Magnificent display. It's only his 15th Grand Prix. Well, Darcy Ward.
He's such a talent, isn't he? And all of a sudden he's doing it the easy way this evening by making starts. We're so accustomed to see him coming through the traffic, and he is very eye-catching and very spectacular, but tonight he's hitting the front and he's fast.
Ward, Jonsson, Harris, Milik, the finishing order there. Heat number 10. I loved that interview with Ward earlier when he said, yeah, 2 great starts for me. That's a little bit different. And 3 rides, 3 wins, and make it 3 rides and 3 great starts. That's very different.
Well, he's doing it the easy way. He may well get accustomed to this because the bikes are clean. He hasn't had a pull or tear off. Inside gate works brilliantly. He's comfortably in front, has a sneaky look over his right shoulder, allows the bike to run wide. Look at this move from Milik. Brilliant move from Milik to get up the inside of Harris. Jonsson follows him through. Jonsson's tough here on the wild car, and he has to be because Milik keeps pushing all the way through that turns 3 and 4. Once again from the tapes, super start. Look at this move from Milik. Chops to the inside now there. God, dear oh dear, he could easily have run into the back of Harris, but just avoids him. But Harris responds well and gets himself into 3rd place, and there's a real good tussle. But that was the move there from Milik that was quite outstanding at that stage of the race. Ward was terrific. 9 points to his name. Top man so far.
Yep, brilliant stuff. And I like the look of Heat 13. Ty Woffenden, Darcy Ward, Chris Holder, Niels Christian Iversen.
No problem.
If you're thinking of switching over and maybe watching something else tonight, don't. Heat 13 is going to be something special. Make sure you're in the room for that one.
Yeah.
As we build up to heat number 11 here, it should be a good one as well. with Nicky Pedersen, 3 times world champion, going off the inside in red. Freddie Lindgren goes off gate number 2, disappointed with just the 1 point so far. Jari Campbell involved in that awful incident earlier, but great to see him back on the bike. And Chris Holder going off the outside in yellow. Here we go with heat 11.
Another good lineup. Hampel needs points desperately. Certainly Nicky Pedersen has been tough, to say the least, out there this evening, and is on 4 points. He goes from the inside gate, which worked really nicely for Ward in the previous race. Holder on the outside, looking for more speed. Big race.
Heat 11, Grand Prix Speedway, live from Prague here tonight. Who's going to get into that first turn? Absolutely Nicky Pedersen, and a clever switch from Lindgren. And here comes Holder! Oh, what a move from Chris Holder. Looks over his shoulder as well, but it's just left enough room for Nicky Pedersen to squeeze through. But that was a spectacular move, and here comes Lindgren round the outside of Holder now. But how much speed does Nicky Pedersen have? He is kicking on here, and Holder really pushing Lindgren hard, and Hampel's at the back.
Well, Nicky Pedersen was really spectacular on the opening lap there. I thought for a moment that Holder was going to slam the door shut, but he left him racing room, and Pedersen was through like a shot. He's out in front. Lindgren's ridden well to get into second place. He's out of shape there though. Holder now closes in third place. A disappointing evening for Jari Campbell. He's only got 1 point to his name so far and is out the back. Pedersen's away, fast out in front. Terrific battle for second, third and fourth.
Yeah, good race this one. Nicky Pedersen kicking on though, and has a comfortable lead now. Freddie Lindgren second, and Hampel's going to have a go on Chris Holder. Hampel has gone wide into the dirt in turns 3 and 4. Pedersen gets the win. Lindgren second. Holder gets that third spot, and Jari Campbell at the back. But what a ride. Nicky Pedersen moving on to 7 points now. 2 second places and a win. And that was a good ride. He had to do it the hard way, because Holder made a wonderful, wonderful switch up the inside. But Freddie Lindgren in the end switching as well and getting that second spot. That was a good race, heat number 11. And Pedersen takes it with Freddie Lindgren in second. Chris Holder was third, and Jari Campbell trailing in at the back there. I just wonder if he's still feeling the effects of that knock a little bit earlier. Pedersen moves on to 7 then. Chris Holder is on 5. Lindgren on 3 points. Top 8, remember, go through to the semi-finals. But good ride from this man.
He's a warrior, isn't he? He just comes out, he never gives in, and certainly here he didn't. As you said, Nigel, a Holder on the outside makes a really good switch. Initially on the inside, Pedersen makes the start, but Holder then comes out of the first corner, but just gives him enough racing room. And Pedersen then allows the bike to run deep into the turns 3 and 4. And Lindgren actually follows him through, and Holder then, who momentarily was in front coming off the first corner, gets relegated to third place by the end of the opening lap, which will be disappointing for him. Look at Lindgren here, hustling the bike around the outside of the Australian. And as I say, at the end of the first lap, Holder's back in third place. Pedersen's remarkably fast out in front, and that will be a problem for the other competitors, because when Nicky gets a taste of speed, he can be a really tough man to beat.
He's looked quick all night, even finishing in second place. He does look to have had the speed.
Oh yeah, and he will know that, he will recognise that. So yes, 7 points, he's battling hard, will be a major threat for this evening's Grand Prix.
What a lineup this is as well. Heat number 12, the world champion Woofenden goes off the outside, 2 rides and 2 wins. And he will have seen Darcy Ward claim 3 wins from 3 rides. And Christoph Kasperzak back in the GP tonight, of course, but finding it tough with a couple of points. That's Matti Zegar, of course, winner in Tampere a fortnight ago. Here we go with the lineup across the grid. Matti Zegar off game number 1 in red. Christoph Kasperzak going off gate number 2 in blue, desperate to make the semi-finals tonight. Martin Smolinski off gate 3 in white, and the unbeaten Ty Woofenden going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Kasperzak could well be struggling for lack of racing. Hasn't ridden for some period of time, at least a fortnight, and I would think that, and that was a week before that, so probably competitive action, it's probably approaching 3 weeks, and he may well be a little bit rusty. Zegar on the inside is going to be a major threat here. Woofenden unbeaten. Zegar looked very impressive last time out.
Here we go with heat number 12, and it's a good start from Kasperzak off gate number 2. Woofenden's been squeezed out at the back. Zegar comes through. Super ride from Matti Zegar. Here comes Kasperzak on. Woofenden almost loses it at the back there, but Kasperzak has that lead. Wonderful ride from him. It's Zegar in second, Smolinski is third, and Woofenden is all over them now. Woofenden's going to try desperately to come through past Martin Smolinski. He's done that one. He's moved into third, but Kasperzak, wonderful ride from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Superb start, but Zago is a major threat in second place, and Woofenden now has got the better of the German Smolinski. He's through to third place. Kasperzak hanging onto the motorbike, the bike pulling his arms off through turns 1 and 2. Zago in second place is definitely a threat. Just over a lap to go. They're coming out of the bottom corner. Kasperzak out in front, the world champion in third. Good speedway race.
Yep, Kasperzak has that lead and looks as though he may have just done enough, although Zagar has got speed here. He's looking really quick. Zagar's trying the outside. Will he switch? He's going to try and switch up the inside to the line, and Kasperzak holds out. Good stuff from Krzysztof Kasperzak. Matti Zagar was second, Ty Woofenden third, Martin Smolinski at the back, and that was good stuff from Krzysztof Kasperzak. But he is uncomfortable down the back straight.
Yeah,
struggling with that knee.
You could see it through the turns 1 and 2 late on in the race, Nigel. The bike was pulling him really hard and he looked uncomfortable on the bike. He did so well to hang on, and there's no question he's feeling uncomfortable as he rides back into the pits, but it was a super ride from him. Great start out of gate 2. Got to give him a lot of credit. Zago fast again in second place.
Needed that win as well. Kasperzak puts him on a 5. Zagar second, Woofenden third. And it means now that Ward is the clear leader with Iversen on 8 and a host of riders on 7. Pedersen, Zagar and Woofenden.
Yeah, Kasperzak's struggling there. He's had intense therapy, pain written all over his face. He really does not feel... Oh dear, that doesn't bode well, does it, for the rest of the night? Head in his hands.
He's not making it worse, is he?
Well, it will be. Yeah, absolutely. It's a serious injury and he's had all sorts of treatment. Brilliant start from him. Real bit of action on the outside between Smolinski and Ty Woofenden, and Smolinski makes the world champion work hard. Zagar down the back straight. Look how tight that was, and great commitment there from Kasperzak to get the better of Zagar. Squeeze him around the outside. Zagar on the back wheel. Fabulous throttle control with Smolinski initially chasing him in third place. Watch this start. Bike dug in and drove forward brilliantly to the first corner. Superb ride there. But he's struggling. Look how he's struggling. He can't put his foot down with real confidence, and I think he's going to find it difficult for the rest of the night.
Kasperzak in pain. 5 points from 3 rides. He'll be back for more.
Looking at what's going on there, Nige, because he can't put his foot down and put any real weight on it, he's having to literally hang his leg all the time, and it looked like he had some sort of spasm high up in his leg near his hip area, so very uncomfortable.
Well, Greg Hancock is now with us for an interview down in the pits with Jason.
Well, Greg Hancock halfway through the meeting now. A bit of a bumpy second ride for you. It was quite brutal out there on turn 3.
Yeah, it was a tight one there, and but that's racing, everybody's going after valuable points, and it didn't go so good for me that time.
Now, you were coming into this meeting, you were closest to the leader, Krzysztof Kasperzak. He's just won that race, but it looks like he's paid a big price.
Yeah, it's he's bouncing back strong, and the way it is, still a long season, so nobody can really count on how important it is to lead the series all the way. But it could go down to the wire.
Well, it seems to, because nobody seems to want to jump out and lead this Grand Prix series this year.
I think they all do, but it just shows you how tough it really is.
Thank you, Greg. Cheers.
Thanks.
The grin there.
Very diplomatic about his second ride.
Yes, I would suggest so. It was a tough move, but he's been around a long time. He knows that it's going to be a tough one. And Iversen there, just briefly, he's enjoying a Super Grand Prix. He was much happier with his performance in his last ride. Kasperzak struggling with injury, but showing great character. That was a good start. It was a tough race, and came up with a big ride when he needed it. So. Yeah, the Grand Prix really has livened up in the last few races.
Certainly has. And we do have an interval now. Track grading going on. Chris Holder looking pretty cool. And the race for the semi-finals very much on. Holder on 5 points from 3 rides so far. And a reminder that after this GP tonight, we're a third of the way through the series. Round 4 tonight. Well, let's hear from Nicky Pedersen. He's got lots of speed tonight. He's with Jason.
Nicky Pedersen, here we are, 3 heats down for you, couple of seconds, but nice to get the win.
Yeah, we modified a little bit in the last one. We fell a little bit of a speed there, you know. It's lots of stones out there, you're rolling on them, so some places you're spinning and other places back's dying, so you need to make a start. When you're in front, you know, it makes the life easier. So behind this spray is very heavy out there, so it's very difficult to pass, but I'll see if I can keep on making the starts.
Well, it seems the starts are important, but it's also getting quite brutal coming out of turn 2 down the back straight.
Yeah, everybody seems to chase that little bit of a dirt that's up in second and third line, you know, and everybody wants to race for the points. So yeah, it's getting tight somehow.
This is a track and a stadium you know quite well. Is it always nice to come back and race here?
Well, it's always a racing track. You've got to be fast and have the right equipment, but I won't say it's too much of an advantage today, you know. They just had like 60 tons of new stones on the track, you know, so it's difficult right now for everyone, but, you know, I'm clocking in, I'm still in it.
All right, cheers, Nicky, keep it up.
Yep, that was a good ride from him in his last outing, 7 points from 3 rides.
Yeah, he's looking good, isn't he? And, you know, you can't ever doubt his commitment to the course, can you? And he's making a few adjustments to the equipment, and he's moving in the right direction. Starting's going to be absolutely at a premium, that's for certain. And Nicky Pedersen knows how to make a start, that's for certain.
Yep, absolutely. Great crowd here in Prague tonight. Fantastic turnout, plenty of fans from the UK, and a big German presence here tonight as well.
Yeah, good to see that.
Yeah,
a bit of a sleeping giant, Germany. We haven't had that many Grand Prix there in recent seasons, and they haven't had anybody to really cheer, but they have now. Smilinski, though, is not enjoying the best night so far. He's only got 3 points.
Pedersen, the World Championship leader. Kasperzak, a point behind. Battling through the pain barrier. Greg Hancock, 39. Darcy Ward, 38. 3 points off the World Championship lead. This is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Holder 37, Woofenden has rocketed up to 35, and Zagar and Smolinski on 34 apiece as well. It really is so tight, this World Championship. It'd be great to see it that tight. I know some will sort of fade away, but...
Well, long may it continue, because it'll be fabulous. It'll keep it very interesting indeed.
Darcy Ward is with Jason.
Darcy, here we are again then. Popped out the start, did it again.
Yeah. What can I say? Yeah, it's pretty good. Knew if I made the start, got to go straight that dirt line because AJ's a dirt line rider and he'll go around you. So managed to get that apex first and feels good.
You've just propelled yourself to 4th in the World Championship. Is this where you like to be, you need to be at this stage of the season?
I think it's so close at the moment, so you know, as long as you're in the hunt and you don't fall too far behind, I think it's going to be going close to the end. So just keep going. Feels good.
Seems that people were saying this won't be Darcy Ward's kind of track, but it seems to be.
Yeah, skater's paradise. I'm making starts, so no one can pass. Nice.
Cheers. Good luck, Darcy.
Darcy Ward looking absolutely impeccable so far this evening, and is defying his normal program where he struggles with starts, but here this evening he has been in fine form. Ty Woofenden just relaxing back in the pits. Longer break here after 12 races. There's a lot of track preparation and a mini interval, so everybody having a moment to relax and get themselves a drink and get themselves prepared for the second half of the meeting.
Yeah, and there is a party atmosphere here as well, Kelv. When you walk around the stadium, there's the barbecues, there's the bars, the souvenir shops. You know, it really is it's a good occasion here in Prague, isn't it?
It is. They do themselves proud, and it's a vibrant place, full stop. When you go into the city, it's full of tourists and enjoying themselves, bars, restaurants heaving with people, tours going around the place. It's quite a special place. Boys just looking on there, Darcy Ward and the 2 Aussie boys and Holder having a look. Tyre pressure's being done on the Woofenden crew, making sure they're spot on. Just missed out last time where Smolinski made him work really hard in the first corner, but I'm sure he's not panicking too much. He still sits comfortably on 7 points after 3 rides, so he's in the thick of it. It's going to be a tough night though. If Ward goes through the card here, that will be a remarkable achievement if he can do it, because he's got 2 gate 2s in his last 2 rides, and he will need to produce from there, because you can easily get squeezed out going in the first corner if you don't make it. So But nonetheless, 9 points should be enough anyway for him to make the semi-finals.
Yep, good crowd then. Plenty of fans from the UK, Poland, Germany, not to mention the Czech Republic, of course. But here comes the sponsors T-shirt giveaway, and fans looking for a piece of the action. But yeah, it has certainly been lively.
I think there's more to come. You know, the last few races, it certainly has livened up. As the sun's gone down now, I do believe that the track will be better to ride on. It won't dry out quite as quickly, and there will be more bite in the material, and that will allow riders to find more racing room and more racing lines. So I'm convinced that things will improve. Great down there. That's a super shot there.
If he can just fire one of those T-shirts up to the commentary box, it'd be very much appreciated.
Yeah. Have you had a word, Nige?
Yeah, but it's obviously to no avail. It's just gone past
driven
us.
straight by us, obviously.
Yeah, it's a little bit like you not listening to a word I say.
Yeah.
Understandable.
What did you say?
Pardon?
So yeah, longer break here. A bit of action for the crowd. As I say, moments to relax. Work to be done for some. I think Martin Smolinski will be disappointed with his performance so far, with just the 3 points. He had a solid second place first time, and then it's just 1 point from the next two. So he'll be looking in his next two rides to try and find something. As we said at the top of the show, he's made 3 semi-finals so far, and of course he won in New Zealand. So he'll want to keep that going if he can.
Yeah, and it's an opportune moment, I think, to say hello to all our viewers in Australia. With Darcy Ward leading the GP tonight on 9 points from 3 rides, and Woofenden doing pretty well. Of course, Woofy lived his childhood in Australia, although born in Britain.
Chris Holder there in the top 8
there as well. So we say hello to all our friends in Australia, and former riders, no doubt, that are enjoying the GP coverage. Jason Crum, Lee Adams, former GP riders from recent years, of course. We've had some terrific Australian riders doing battle here in Europe down the years, and you guys are missed. Lee and Jason and all the boys. It's certainly legendary status, and they certainly contributed so much to Grand Prix Speedway. But now there are new stars appearing. This man's one of them. Darcy Ward another. There's a new generation here. And here is the World Championship standings. It is
but one of the old guard leads the World Championship. Remarkable.
Yeah.
Pedersen at 37, still charging hard. Hancock at nigh on 44 is well and truly ensconced in the top 4. Holder there in 5th. Steady. Woofenden will be looking to bounce back here. A little bit of a chat before they get ready for the restart of the meeting in Heat 13. 13, as you mentioned, Nigel, is a terrific lineup. Ward and Woofenden going head-to-head. Holder on gate 3 against Everson. It really is a tough one to call. I tell you what, though, it's a great race to win. What a boost to your confidence on the night. Ward won that real showdown in Heat 8 earlier on, and you've got to say that's boosted him because he's continued on in fine style. So yeah, Heat 13 is a cracker. As you said, don't go out and make a cup of tea in a minute. You want to be in front of your TV set. Don't miss it.
Yep, very much so. If the pizza delivery guy is ringing the bell right now, just make him wait.
Tell him to hang on, yeah.
Or invite him in to watch the race. Why not? Here we go, heat number 13. Two Australian boys there, Chris Holder and Darcy Ward, who have got a bit of a Grand Prix team going this year. They wear the same coloured Kevlars. They are part of the Falkland team, of course, very similar to Greg Hancock and Billy Hamill from the late 90s when they were Team X-Side, of course, the Battery Boys as they were known.
Yeah, they park together in the pits as well. They've been given permission to park alongside one another, so yeah, it all looks very impressive in the paddock, and it seems to be working well. But this is a tasty lineup here, Nigel. The world champion on the inside. I'm sure he'll be really keen to get one over on Ward here, try and really make him work hard. This is a super racing prospect.
Oh, fantastic lineup, no doubt about that. Watching on from the pits, and here we go with heat number 13. We see the numbers being held up there. Of course, the riders were, for the first time in GP history, allowed to pick their own numbers this year. And this is a tasty heat number 13 coming right up. Here we go, the restart of the GP. Heat number 13 it is. If the kettle's just boiled, pour it after this race. Ty Wofferden goes off the inside in red. Gate 2 in blue is Darcy Ward, unbeaten so far. Chris Holder, gate number 3 in white, and Niels Christian Iversen off the outside in yellow. Something has to give here. What a wonderful, wonderful lineup this is.
Yeah, terrific lineup. I fancy Ward's, Chris Holder has changed his equipment here. That bike looks very clean, looking for a bit more speed, taking a chance here in this big Heat 13. Iversen did it in the previous race, made big dividends. He hit the front, looked really quick. Wofferden on the inside has won a couple of races so far tonight, has been sharp away from the tape. Ward, unbelievable, 3 race wins from the front. Here we go.
Here we go with Heat number 13, and that was very quick the way the tapes went up, and Ward has made an absolute beauty. Now Wofferden is going to try the inside. No room for Iversen though, down that back straight, and Holder is relegated to the back, but Darcy Ward is a man on a mission tonight. No question about that. Wofferden is having a go here. Third place is Niels Christian Iversen, but Darcy Ward, what a performance from the young man. Absolutely gating superbly, although Wofferden's having a go here now.
Wofferden's fast, Nigel, and I would suggest that Ward's going to have to ride a real sterling effort here because Wofferden's working the track really well. Iversen, you said there was no room, but he made room, and he got into 3rd place down the back straight, and Holder disappointing out the back, but look at Ward go. He's flying tonight. 4 starts out of 4, looking like he could well reel off 4 wins. Brilliant stuff from the Aussie.
Tonight's the night where Darcy Ward rockets himself into World Championship contention. He's down the back straight. Darcy Ward going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And look at the margin of victory now. Wofferden was pushing him a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, too right.
Wofferden 2nd place, Iversen 3rd, and Chris Holder knows he's a beaten man. He pulls up before the end of the race. But what a ride. Darcy Ward, 4 straight wins, and he's done it all from the start as well.
Yeah, bike dug in on gate 2 and drove really hard all the way to the first corner. He'd be really pleased with that. Wofferden was threatening early doors, but as the race continued, you've got to say that Ward had more speed. He looked terrific out in front. Darcy Ward, 12 points to his name, unbeaten so far, dominating the Grand Prix.
Ward the winner with Ty Wofferden 2nd, Niels Christian Iversen 3rd, and Chris Holder trailed in at the back. He knew it was game over for him just as he came out of turn 4. Just pulled up, slowed up as he went over the finish line, and look at that. Darcy Ward, 12 points out of a possible 12. Absolutely magnificent effort. And, well, it really is remarkable when you consider that only a couple of weeks ago there were stories doing the rounds that he was considering packing up for the year and going for surgery on that knee.
Well, that's absolutely correct, and he's been very busy of late. Good stuff from Iversen to get into 3rd here, and Holder gets squeezed out, and he can't land a blow. Yeah, I don't know how many times that Darcy Ward would have made 4 starts on the spin. I shouldn't think it's very often. And I tell you what, good time to do it in the Grand Prix.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. And he gets to the first corner, allows the bike to square off, and down the back straight they charge. Iversen does nicely to get into 3rd place here and ride strongly there. Thought Wofferden actually was going to be able to put a real load of pressure on Ward, but fair play to Ward, even though that's half a mistake there, he shows terrific composure and speed in front and has looked unbeatable so far. 4 starts, 4 wins, another gate 2 to come. He's looking good.
Yep. 4 Grand Prix finals in 14 appearances for Darcy Ward. Ty Wofferden, of course, 7 Grand Prix finals in 27 GPs. Of course, he was a rider in the GP series in 2010. Before his fairy tale 2013. Here we go now with Heat 14 of the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix here at the Markéta Stadium in Prague. Andreas Jonsson going off the inside in red. Matti Zegar goes off gate number 2 in blue. Level on 7 points with the man alongside him, Nicky Pedersen, in white. And Troy Batchelor going off the outside.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Jonsson needs points and he's got the inside gate. I'm sure he's aware that that could be some advantage to him. Zago and Pedersen have been riding very well and showing great speed, and that head-to-head on gates 2 and 3 could be quite a tasty indeed. Batchelor will be frustrated with his evening so far. He has only got 1 point to his name from 3 rides, so he'll be desperate to try and get on the score chart. Good race again.
Yep, absolutely. Heat number 14 it is. There was a little bit of movement there, but Zagar's hit that first turn ahead of the rest, and now Batchelor tries the inside. Oh, Nicky's almost off it. Nicky Pedersen almost loses it, and he stayed on the bike, but he's out of contention. The lead here is Mati Zegar now, the Slovenian in blue. Andreas Johnson second in red, with Troy Batchelor third, and Nicky Pedersen at the back.
Yeah, Zegar made a brilliant start from gate 2, and it looked like it was almost too good, and Pedersen certainly missed it. Then got it all out of shape in the first corner and very nearly came off the bike, and he's trailing well out the back. Zegar fast earlier on, proving it again here in heat 14. Andreas Johnson charging hard in second place. Pedersen not being able to get amongst the action, but the Slovenian, a winner in the Grand Prix for the first time 2 weeks ago in Finland, looking good again here in the Marquetta.
Zegar, who rides for the Bellevue Aces in the UK, has got that lead and is kicking on. Pedersen knows he's out of contention here, just rolling around at the back. But it's Mati Zegar who's going to take that victory, and although Johnson came on strong and really gave a good go towards the end, didn't quite have the pace. Batchelor gets a point in third. He won't make the semi-finals, but that was a big win for Mati Zegar. Moves him into double figures on 10 points, and another great night's work in the GP from Mati Zegar. Absolutely superb. And he's still in contention, of course. Whilst you're in the top 8 and into the semi-finals, you can still win the meeting as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pedersen finishes the race.
Disappointment for Pedersen there, just got it all wrong through the first corner and very nearly came off the motorbike, but Mati Zegar full of confidence after winning his first Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Quick.
Yep, very much so. Zegar, Johnson, Batchelor, Pedersen, the finishing order there. That was heat number 14. Super ride from Mati Zegar moves him on to 10 points, just behind Darcy Ward, unbeaten on 12 points. A magnificent display from Ward, a maximum man so far. But Zegar riding quite beautifully tonight.
Yeah, he is, and when he gets to the front, he looks really calm on the motorbike. Great start. Gate 2, clear into the first corner. Pedersen missed it this time, just didn't make the jump at all, lifted violently there and very nearly came off the bike, and really and truly he had no chance from then on. Look how quickly the bike lifted up underneath him. He did well just to hang on, and then it bucks and slides, and very uncomfortable indeed. The absolute opposite for Zegar, comfortably out in front, showing plenty of speed. Got to give a mention to Andreas Johnson, who charged him down right to the checkered flag and was quick in second place. But the Slovenian having a little bit of a chat there. That's a good solid night's work, 10 points in the semi-final. He's looking okay. Johnson needs work. He's going to have at least 2 points, a race win ideally in his last one.
Zegar now with his second successive double-figure score after his superb display in Tampere a fortnight ago. Heat 15 coming up. Here's Hancock, the man in red, birthday boy this week, 44 years of age. Jarek Hampel is off gate 2 in blue, has found life tough tonight after that crash here in Prague. Just good that he's up and about. Chris Harris, 2 points to his name. Flew in this morning after riding for his British club Coventry last night in a thrilling Elite League clash with Birmingham. Greg Hancock goes off the inside in red then here. Jarek Hampel, gate 2 in blue. From Poland, Martin Smolinski, gate 3 in white for Germany. And Chris Harris from Great Britain, outside in yellow. That's your lineup for Heat 15.
Yeah, Smolinski's been disappointing so far tonight. He's shown better form in previous Grand Prix, and he'll be really desperate to try and pick up a win here to give himself an outside chance of the top 8 here tonight. 2 wins, I would suggest, is what he's looking for. Hancock, well, he's had a tough night, in truth. He's got 5 points, but we've seen him turn his nights around. He did in Finland. He came from nowhere, got himself to the final, so don't rule him out.
There we go with gate number 15. That's a great start from Smolinski off gate number 3, but Hancock beats him to the first turn, and Harris now switches up the inside of Smolinski, and it's all butched up now, and Harris is challenging Hancock for the lead, but Hancock has got the drive. Now Smolinski comes around the outside of Harris, but Harris holds his nerve. Good ride from Chris Harris in second place, but it's Hancock, Harris, Smolinski, and Hampel at the back now.
Well, Harris has got a lot of speed in second place. He's all clambering all over the back of Greg Hancock, and it was really tight between Hancock, Harris and Smolinski on the opening lap. Hampel is not enjoying a good night. He's out the back and won't make the semi-finals this evening. Hancock responding well, but keep your eyes on Harris. He's charging really hard in second place. Desperately looking for a way through. Lets the bike run in, squares it off. Can he get up the inside of the American? It's slick there, it's tight, there's a lap to go. Super Speedway out in front.
Chris Harris having a real go here. He's got the drive and got the speed down the back straight. Here comes Harris. Will he go all the way up the inside? Hancock holds the line. Looks as as though Hancock is just about going to do enough, but that was a great effort from Harris in second.
Yep.
Third there was Martin Smolinski, and Hampel struggling quite clearly. He's pulling up, knowing that he's out of contention in the race, but that was super speedway from Chris Harris in yellow. Hancock wins the race, but he knew he had to work really hard to get the better of Harris, who is cheered superbly by the British fans on the back straight.
Yeah, great effort there from the Brit, and a sense of relief, I would think, from the American Hancock as he got over the line finally, because Harris was coming at him hard. Certainly in the first corner he was generating lots more speed than the American, and that may well have been his best ride in the Grand Prix this season so far. Hancock, though, classy ride out in front, you have to say.
Yeah, not only did he battle with Smolinski, Harris, he then put pressure on Hancock. Superb, heat 15. Hancock 8 points from 4 rides now, and looking good for a semi-final place. Harris on 4, level with Smolinski now, but Hancock knew he really did have to work overtime there.
Right, he's an incredible character, Hancock, because he's had a couple of tough races and he makes it work again off the inside. He just gives Smolinski a little bit of a shove, but look how close this is down the back straight. Harris there, off the outside, tucks to the inside, and Smolinski and him charge into the bottom of the track. Hampel's out the back and is really not confident this evening. You can see that in his body language on the bike. Not making starts, not showing any speed. Tough in the first corner, Hancock had to be. Super move initially there from Harris. I thought for a moment he might just be able to get to the front, but he shows respect to Hancock, who just squeezes him a wee bit. But this is a race-long battle here. Certainly Harris very nearly gets the better of Hancock in the end, and it was a super speedway race. But all credit to Hancock. He rode clever in front, and he's moved back onto 8 points, and he's got a race to go, showing plenty of class again.
Nice to see a smile on the face of Chris Harris there. That's been a long time coming in the GP, and it is terrific to see that. Let's hope he can have a good last ride as well.
Let's hope he can finish on a win. That really would put a big smile on his face. Might not make the semi-finals, but certainly it's going to be an awful lot better than what's happened in the first 3 Grand Prix.
Gate number 16, Freddie Lindgren goes off the inside in red from Sweden. Gate number 2 in blue is Kenneth Bier. Gate 3 in white, Christoph Kasperzak. Vaclav Milik, the wild card. Going off the outside. Now Kasperzak, keep your eyes on him in white. We know that he's struggling with that knee. He rode through the pain barrier to get that victory. And this is heat number 16. Every rider will have completed 4 rides after this one. Lindgren's made a good one off the inside gate. Bier switches up the inside though. Now Kenneth Bier is there, and Kasperzak is going to come through here. Christoph Kasperzak holds second place. Lindgren has the lead. Kasperzak is second. Bier battling to get the better of Milik in third here, and Kasperzak is chasing Lindgren hard.
Yeah, Lindgren made a really good start on the inside, and he needs to, because he struggled so far, as is Kasperzak in second place, lifted violently, and he just senses he's not very comfortable on the bike. He's not putting any pressure on his left foot and left leg as he goes into the corners, and he's certainly being restricted there. Lindgren needs this, and he's without question is responding. He's had a good Grand Prix campaign so far, and winning races is what it's all about. And it looks like he could well win a race here this evening. Bier in third place is a danger for Christoph Kasperzak with less than a lap to go.
Yeah, well, riders will know Kasperzak's struggling, and they really will push him hard, and that's what Bier's doing here. Going into that turn, Kasperzak just gets some speed, holds the drive. It's going to be a big race win now for Freddie Lindgren. That'll move him on to 6 points, and he's in with a shout at the semi-finals once again. Kasperzak was second there. Third was Kenneth Bier, and Vaclav Milik trailed in at the back. Every rider has now completed 4 rides, and that is a big, big win for fast Freddie Lindgren in red in heat 16.
Yeah, really good effort. I'd suggest that Kasperzak, if he was fully fit, may well have put a lot more pressure on the Swedish rider, but Lindgren won't be caring about that now. He knows he's got 3 points to his name, and he's moved up into the top 8. And yeah, his last 2 rides have been a lot better. 2 and then 3 points, just 1 point dropped in his last 2 rides. Good stuff.
Yep, so the win there was for Freddie Lindgren with Kasperzak second, and it does mean that Ward is the only rider unbeaten on 12, Zegar on 10, and then you have Woffenden and Everson on 9.
Yeah, good ride from Freddie Lindgren. It looked like Kasperzak might well be able to put a real load of pressure on him, but Kasperzak clearly hindered by that left knee injury. He can't put any pressure on his left foot, and he's riding literally with his left leg just dangling. It's not really doing anything for him at all. He's hardly putting it down, He's got speed in the bike, but he just can't utilise it to its full potential because he is certainly being hampered by his left knee injury. Seeing the start again, there's Milik on the outside, can't get away from the outside. Good start from Lindgren on the inside, which has worked pretty well tonight. Got to say, the motorbike from Kasperzak is really quick. I think if he was fully fit, he would be really in the thick of the action. And it's damage limitation time here for the championship leader coming into them tonight. He's not leading it now, of course, but he can just pick up every point so vital. Bike leaping about underneath him, struggling to hang on to it, but 2 points is not too bad at all. But Lindgren in 8th place. He's on 6 points with a ride to go. He's got the inside gate again in his next ride, so every chance, you would suggest, of making the semi-finals tonight.
Yeah, good ride from Freddie Lindgren. 6 points to his name now, and if it does go to count back, then that race win could be absolutely vital for Freddie Lindgren, who is in the 8th place at the moment and ahead of Jonsson on countback because of the fact that he has won that race.
Well, race wins are vital, aren't they? And as you rightly say, countbacks can be, you know, very tense affairs, and if you've got a race win in there, then it could very well make all the difference about being in the top 8 this evening and not. But Lindgren certainly looking much more like his old self with 5 points from his last 2 rides.
Yep, we've got one race left per rider to decide the semi-finalists here in Prague. It's 17 to 20 coming up to decide that.
Kasperzak's done well, isn't he, when you consider how he's struggling with that leg. He's got 5 points out of his last 2 and a couple of points in his next one, and he's through to the semi-finals.
Yep, Chris Harris now is with Jason Harold.
Well, Chris Harris, that's more like it.
Yeah, I felt like I had a bit of pace then, so it was good. Just couldn't get past Greg, but you know we kept on his toes.
I've got to ask you, what happened in your first ride?
Unfortunately, it was a mechanic error. The nut to hold we changed the jet come off done. So whoever one of the clowns that was doing it was didn't do it up tight enough, and it just dumped all the fuel out at the start.
Now, you didn't practice yesterday. You rode in a league meeting for in the UK for Coventry. Do you think that helped you, or it might have hindered you?
No, I feel I got good pace. Bar the first one, I'm feeling there. I changed bikes after the second ride, and that definitely felt better. So we're in there fighting now. So we just got to get a win now to try to get into that semi.
Well, you're in a great position because you're off gate 1, and there've been some wins off gate 1 tonight. So obviously you're confident.
Yeah, I'm feeling good on the bike again. So just got to get my nose in front. If I do that, I'll win the race. I've got no problem with that.
Nice one. Thanks, Chris.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff from Chris Harris. Good to see that he was really racing hard there. That was excellent stuff from him. And really looking forward to the last 4 heats here now in Prague, and a terrific crowd. It really is wonderful turnout here tonight. Probably the biggest crowd we've seen here in Prague for quite a few years for a Grand Prix, and it really is good to see. Heat number 17 coming up. Iversen, Pedersen, Milik and Smolinski is the lineup in heat number 17. Martin Smolinski on 4 points, probably won't make it now. Nicky Pedersen is on 7, could just do with another point or so. Ty Woffender now, the world champion, is with our man Jason Harold.
Ty Woffenden, then you're in well placed to get into those semis. Looks like you're going to make it, and a steady couple of last rides for you.
Yeah, it didn't. Gate 4 was a hard one. Didn't quite make it, and then gate 1, I just made a mistake with my setup, and the bike didn't work how I wanted to towards the first corner. But that's the way it goes, and we made a few more changes, see if we can win some more.
You kind of got beaten up in that first turn when you were on gate 4.
Yeah, it's normal off gate 4.
Now you're going to be changing motorised power for pedal power with a charity bike ride.
Yeah, we're raising £100,000 for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. Every British supporter can go to their local track, go to the race office, buy a ticket for £1 to enter the draw to do the ride with me. It's going to be cool. The first 2 people that are doing it is Greg Hancock and Chris Morton, and I'm now going to announce that the next 2 people are John McGuinness and Darren Fletcher. So we've got some big names coming up in the future, and you know, it's just more celebrities to do the ride with, so it's going to be great.
What spurred you to do this charity bike ride?
I went and visited the hospital the other day, you know, and them kids are so inspiring. They're, you know, they're coming over issues with their livers, or you know, they've had transplants, and they're so happy. You know, it makes me angry when I see somebody on Twitter, oh, I'm gonna have the day off because I've got a cold. You know, these kids are smiling non-stop the whole time they're there, and it opens your eyes. So yeah, can't wait.
It's a great course, Ty. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Get behind me.
Yeah, that's super, isn't it? You know, a great cause, and going out of his way on a very busy schedule he's got this season, and he's finding the time to raise all that money. That is quite special.
Yeah, it is, and like you say, he's busier than he was last year because he's riding in the Swedish League as well. So it really is a hectic time for Ty, but
Darcy Ward, I believe, now leads the World Championship.
Yes. And
that's the first time that has occurred in his career, so a bit of a special moment for him. And he's only won one Grand Prix. Incredibly, he won that on his return to action in Copenhagen last year, and won in fine style. And so far tonight, it's been unbeatable. So, yeah.
Your maths aren't as good as mine.
Yep, I failed my maths O-level, and you can now see why.
Yeah, what a World Championship, though. It is so tight. So, yeah. Mickey Pedersen coming up here in heat number 17. Quite a lineup it is. As the sun sets here in Prague, and these four heats will determine who the 8 qualifiers are for the semi-finals here of the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Iversen goes in red. 88 rider number 88, I should say. 88 points, he'd do well to score those.
He'd be delighted, wouldn't he?
Just a little bit. The riders, of course, can have been able to nominate.
He would be on 88 points.
Yeah. So here we go. Heat number 17. The last round of races to determine the semi-finalists here in the Czech Republic. There we go with heat number 17, then Niels Christian Iversen is off the inside in red. Mickey Pedersen, 7 points to his name, still with a little bit of work to do. He goes off gate 2 in blue. Vaclav Milik, wild card, goes off gate number 3 in white. And Martin Smolinski goes off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed this evening, Smolinski, with the support from Germany here. Would have been absolutely desperate to make the top 8 in the semi-finals. Iversen, much better. Disappointing last time in Finland. Looked like he was worn out when he got there, if the truth be known. He'd been riding every day for 10 days leading up to that Grand Prix, and just ran out of steam when he got to Tampere. But tonight, he's looked good. And no surprise to see Iversen on 9 points and looking good. Off the inside, he's in the box seat for another race win here.
Here we go then, heat number 17.
Whoa.
What a start from Iversen. That is jet propelled. And going into that first turn, he's got that lead, and now Smolinski tries to switch up the inside. Oh, Iversen's almost lost it. That allows Smolinski through. Oh, and Pedersen has ruthlessly taken aside Vaclav Milik, and now he's challenging Niels Christian Iversen. But Smolinski has the lead here. Iversen comes up the inside. Niels Christian Iversen now. Brilliant. Super ride, and now Smolinski's going to come back for more. He's going to try the inside line as well. But Iversen holds it well, and he has the lead. And Pedersen is going to try everything in third to come around the outside.
Yeah, but Pedersen's gone to the back with Milik now getting him. Pedersen responds, gets to third place. He knows every point vital. What an opening lap on Speedway that was for Niels Christian Iversen. Threw the lead away and allowed the German to the front, and then responded as they went over the start and finish line to complete the first lap. Up the inside, just to the front going into the first turn. Has got speed out in front. He looks good, Iversen here. Smolinski will be satisfied with second place. Pedersen won't be satisfied with third. He'll be frustrated with that. He's really having to scrap for points at this stage.
Niels Christian Iversen is going to get his biggest score of the season so far. 12 points for Niels Christian Iversen. Second place there was Martin Smolinski, and Mickey Pedersen gets his 8th point of the night, which will probably just about do him for a place in the semi-finals here in Prague. And that was a good race. Smolinski and Iversen really having a go there, and Iversen keeping his cool That's his third win of the night as well, Niels Christian Iversen.
Well, he had to work overtime, didn't he? Because he threw the lead away. He lifted coming out of turn 2, and that allowed Smolinski in, but he responded brilliantly.
Yeah, it was a win for Iversen. Smolinski second. Nicky Pedersen was third there, and it does mean that it's not enough for Smolinski. It was never going to be enough anyway with 4 before that race. Iversen on 12, and that third place for Nicky Pedersen, precious for him, because that will probably just about be enough.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how it works out, but he's got a nervous weight, the three-time champion. Iversen off the inside makes a good start initially. I thought for a moment he may have jumped the start, he was so clear, but he lifted there coming out of turn 2, and that allowed Smolinski up the inside, but Pedersen in on the act as well. This is a really good move. Iversen then switches back to the inside and allows the bike to get up the inside of Smolinski as they start the second lap. Sweeps wide. I thought Smolinski might be able to get back up the inside and replay the compliment, but he can't. Niels Christian Iversen on that second bike looks really fast here tonight. 12 points, he's enjoying his best Grand Prix, comfortably through to the semi-finals. The world number 3. He means business tonight. You can't discount him.
No, super right. He really has been in the thick of the action tonight. It's ridden quite beautifully. Great stuff from Iversen as we prepare for heat number 18 now.
Good race.
Yeah, what a lineup this is with Lindgren, Jonsson, Woffenden and Hancock.
Yeah, all looking for obviously to continue on their way. 1 or 2 riders are in the top 8. Certainly Greg Hancock on 8 points wants to keep pushing on. He's in the World Championship chase, well and truly in there. Freddie Lindgren battling back with a really good race win last time and is in a good starting position coming off the inside. The Swede enjoying a good season in the Grand Prix. Woffenden has turned his fortunes around. He's been in good form tonight. He's coming into this race on 9 points, and he'll be looking to try and build on that out of gate 3. And the 2 Swedes on the inside certainly will be looking to really push on hard here. The meeting's boiling up nicely.
Certainly is. Heat number 18 it is then. Lindgren needs points off the inside, so does Jonsson. And plenty on the line here in the build-up to heat number 18. Woffenden, who started quite beautifully with 2 wins for his opening 2 rides here, but needs to follow that up as well. The race for the world title wide open once again.
Yeah, it is, and Andreas Jonsson on 6 points has battled really hard. He's had 3 second places and a 0, so he's desperate for a win and still could make the top 8.
Lindgren off the inside needs points, so does Jonsson off gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woffenden gate 3 in white, 9 points so far, and Greg Hancock going off the outside in yellow with 8 points to his name.
Yeah, and 8 points won't be enough for Andreas Jonsson, you would suggest, because that would mean he gets 8 points, but he hasn't had a race win. So a win for Jonsson is vital if he wants to make the top 8 this evening. Hancock, of course, has ridden well. You've got to say, apart from that blip when he was off gate 4 and he got really squeezed out hard on the opening lap, he's been right there and has won a couple of races already this evening, as has the world champion. Riders and mechanics alike keenly looking on this race. We're coming to the business end of the night. Precious, precious World Championship points on the line.
Yep, here we go then. Heat number 18 it is. Jesper Steentoft with his finger on the button, and Woffenden's made a beauty from gate number 3. What a start that is from Ty Woffenden. Lindgren holds second here, and Jonsson's come through into third at the expense of Greg Hancock, who has to get off the gas at the back, but Ty Woffenden has that lead. This will put him on to 12 points, and they'll sail through to the semi-finals, but Lindgren's got some speed here. Freddie Lindgren having a go on the inside line, and you do feel that 8 points for Freddie Lindgren with that race win under his belt, that should be enough for him.
Yeah, he'll be hoping so. He's having a real good go in second place, and Woffenden was electric away from the tapes out of gate 3. Certainly the tweak for the bike he was chatting to Jason Harold a little bit earlier on has worked and paid big dividends. Disappointment for Hancock. I didn't expect this. He's out the back and he's tailed off, and Andreas Jonsson won't make the semi-finals this evening. Third place will not be enough for him, but Woffenden out in front, going to move on to 12 points. He'll be in. He's looking good, the world champion. Won here last year. It's okay.
He can still do it again, remember. It all boils down to the grand final. Ty Woffenden of Great Britain, the reigning champion, is through to the semi-finals with a 12-point score to his name. And look what it means to him. He punches the air with delight. Plenty of British fans that have made the trip across here. Big numbers from Great Britain, and they are delighted with the performance there of Ty Woffenden. A big win for him in heat number 18. Super ride from Woffenden. Lindgren had pace there, moves on to 8 points, and that moves him into the top 8. Jonsson was third, he misses out tonight, and Greg Hancock out the back. Hancock still comfortably in the top 8 because of the 2 race wins. He's above Pedersen and above Lindgren on the countback because of his 2 race wins. Woffenden on 12, Hancock on 8. And Woffenden delighted with that victory.
What a start. The bike brilliant to the first corner. Really good reaction, drops the clutch spot on, and the bike drives really hard to the first corner. Hancock gets shoved wide there and is literally squeezed out in the opening lap and just can't land a blow. Doesn't have much speed in this race. Lindgren did, though. You have to say he chases hard throughout the race and he puts a little bit of pressure on the world champion. But to be truthful, at the end of the day here, you would suggest that Woffenden rode a nice race and was pretty comfortable. And Andreas Jonsson will be disappointed. He's ridden really hard. He's ridden his heart out here this evening, but hasn't managed to get to the top 8 this evening. But this man has turned his World Championship around so far this season. The last one where he got 16 points and finished second. He's already on to 12 tonight with possibly 2 more rides to go. So the world champ looking like a champion.
Puts him on to 40 Grand Prix points. Ty Woffenden, Freddie Lindgren, who is having the best start of his career to a Grand Prix Series, 13 in New Zealand, a flip in Bydgoszcz, but 12 in Tampere. And 8 points tonight as well for Freddie Lindgren as we build up to heat 19, and the maximum man, Darcy Ward, is off gate number 2 in blue. But what a race this promises to be. Matti Zegar is alongside him in white. Terrific lineup.
Yeah, they're coming thick and fast now, aren't they? And the head-to-heads are really quite tasty indeed. Ward and Zegar. Something's got to give.
Hampel only with 1 point, and certainly by his body language suggests that he is struggling after that smash earlier. Ward on 12, gate 2. Matti Zegar on 10 points, going off gate number 3. And off the outside is Kenneth Bier on 3. The 2 young reserves watching on, Zdeněk Horup and Michal Skurla. And here we go with heat number 19, a penultimate race of the qualifying heats here. Oh, Ward again off gate number 2 is a sensational getaway. He just quite simply dropped the clutch quicker than anybody else. This is a different Darcy Ward we're seeing tonight at the start. Zegar second, third is Hampel. Kenneth Bier is at the back, but Darcy Ward is looking good to head into the semi-finals with a 15-point maximum. But he's still got some work to do because Matti Zegar will have a real go here. He's getting some drive down that back straight, but Ward leads.
Yeah, once again, an absolutely jet-propelled start from Ward. Textbook stuff. He looks good out in front. Zegar quick in second place, and Hampel looks like he's got more speed, but it's too little too late for the pole here this evening. He's had a disappointing night. The absolute reverse is the case for Darcy Ward, looking like he's going to go on to a 15-point maximum from his first 5 rides. That really is a terrific effort from the Australian.
Yeah, Ward has that lead, and Zegar in second place. Zegar will go through to the semi-finals with a 12-point score, the same as Woffenden. But Darcy Ward is going to go through with a full house, 15 points out of a possible 15, and that is a stunning display from Darcy Ward, whose season could have been over a couple of weeks ago, but he persevered, he battled through. He went to Torun for specialist treatment in Poland on that knee injury, and my goodness, he actually said on Twitter earlier today, I really wish I was 100%. Oh my goodness, if he's only 70 or 80%, he's not doing bad.
Not bad.
Ward the winner, Zegar second, Hampel was third, and Kenneth Bier at the back. A 15-point maximum in the qualifiers for Darcy Ward of Australia, ahead of Ty Woffenden and Niels Christian Iversen and Matti Zegar. 3 riders on 12 points apiece. With the semi-finals to come, still 1 qualifying heat to come as well. But Darcy Ward, what a performance from that young man.
Yeah, he's been sensational, hasn't he? And once again, gate 2, drops the clutch and the bike leapt away from the tapes. He's sitting a little calmer on the bike. He's right up the front of the bike, and whatever he's doing, it's working, and it's working consistently, and that's so encouraging as a rider, and you'll be getting more and more confidence from that. Great reaction. Often he misses the start, he just doesn't drop the clutch at the right time, and tonight 5 times on the spin he's done that and he's looked terrific. Zegar was threatening early doors here, got himself nicely into second place down the back straight, and shows a lot of speed, but once it settles down, Ward really has all the answers and showboats as he finishes the race, and rightly so, because he's dominating this Grand Prix. And can he go through the card? 7 races would be quite a special night.
Leads the World Championship. Darcy Ward now. He was in 8th place at the start of tonight. Darcy Ward now is the World Championship leader. And Zagar on 12, another terrific night's work from the Slovenian.
Yeah, fantastic, building on that performance from 2 weeks ago when he won in Finland, so fair play to him. Ward, of course, who didn't really enjoy Finland. He's certainly enjoying tonight, isn't he? 5 rides, 5 wins, and 5 immaculate starts. It reminds me of a performance like Tony Ricardson put in, or Jason Crump put in, when they went through the card. Big night for Ward so far.
And he only got 5 in Auckland when he was beaten up after that crash, of course.
Oh, yeah, that was a big crash for him.
Yep. Gate number 20, Chris Harris off the inside, has looked better in his last ride. Chris Holder going off gate number 2 in blue. Needs a win here. The former world champion, Troy Batchelor, off gate number 3. Christoph Kasprzak is on 7 points. He's off the outside gate. So really the last semi-final spot is between Chris Holder and Christoph Kasprzak.
Yeah, and Holder's had a race win, so that could be absolutely vital for the Australians. Big race here, plenty of pressure.
Yep, loads of pressure. Very good gate off number 2 in the blue helmet colour. Harris is going to hold the inside line, and we know Harris has got speed, but Holder has gone wide and got loads of drive. And Kasprzak is at the back here, but the lead is with Chris Holder. Now Batchelor is coming hard up the inside of Chris Harris. Harris holds his nerve though down the home straight, and Harris hangs on to second place. But this is a great ride. Win or bust for Chris Holder, and he's got the lead.
Well, just momentarily there, there's a bit of a hole appearing in that first and second corner, and he just hit it, got a little bit out of shape, but like Ward in the previous race, Holder's made a really good start out of gate 2 and flying out his Harris is in nicely in second place, because Batchelor has been pushing him really hard, and Kasprzak is running out of steam here. Just is not comfortable enough on the bike, can't ride it with any real determination and aggression. Holder is the exact opposite. He's out in front, looking fast, looking good, looking like he's going to the semi-finals.
And a much better night for Chris Harris as well, because he's going to finish on 6 points. Kasprzak has pulled up at the back, by the way. That lead getting the better of him quite clearly. But for Chris Holder, that is a big win for Chris Holder, because he jumps into the top 8 now. It was win or bust for the 2012 World Champion. He knew that. He got the victory. And that is a big win for the Australian in heat number 20. Chris Holder jumps into the top 8. And with 2 race wins, he's ahead of Nicky Pedersen and Freddie Lindgren as well in the pecking order. But for Kasprzak, you can feel his pain.
Oh yeah, he's struggled, hasn't he? He just can't put any weight on the left leg. And he's done well to get the 7 points. Just ran out of steam in that last race. Coming from the outside was always going to be a tough call for him. But Holder, well, yeah, that was more like it.
A win for Holder, Harris second, Batchelor third, and Kasprzak at the back. Ward, Woffenden, Everson, Zagar, Hancock, Holder, Pedersen and Lindgren in the semi-finals.
Yeah, Holder was good there. He's seen his teammate Darcy Ward there dominate this Grand Prix, and suddenly he's dug in, he's found something, maybe a tweak to the bike setup. Maybe he's just calmed it down a little bit, and it really did grip and drive. Look how far in front he is at the end of the back straight. Before they've completed the first lap, bit of battling going on between Troy Batchelor and Chris Harris for second and third, and Harris certainly looked like he was enjoying himself a lot more here. And another second place, 6 points. Hasn't made the top 8, but certainly it's an improvement on previous Grand Prix for the Brit. Batchelor struggled tonight. He's found it hard work out there. He's only got the 3 points from his 5 rides tonight. Holder, of course, he'll be chuffed to bits. He's in the semi-finals. Kasprzak, the World Championship leader, coming in tonight, still struggling with that knee injury. Tough for Kasprzak.
Yep, Chris Holder needed that win. He knew it and he responded, and he's shown again what great character he's got under pressure. Track grading going on now as we prepare for the draw for the semi-finals. The gate picks from the riders. The FIM and the race director will just confirm the finishing order, but it does look clear-cut to me with Ward on 15 points, so maximum, so he will have first pick. Woofenden with 3 race wins, and then when you go head-to-head, second place, Everson third, Zagar fourth, and you've got Hancock, Holder, Pedersen and Lindgren. Amazing that 4 riders have finished on 8 points.
Tough tie, isn't it? With the conditions, everybody snatching points off one another, and it's been difficult to go through the card. That's why the 15 points from Ward is remarkable. On a track like this, a rider that is not renowned for his starting ability comes up with 5 textbook starts, and I hope I'm right in saying he is now leading the World Championship, and that is really quite a special moment for the Australian. Can he do it? Can he go right through the card and do 7 out of 7? I can't remember the last time it's been done. It's been done on several occasions, but certainly tonight, 2 more starts and he could well be right there. Woofenden, the world champion, has looked solid, really solid. In the last race out of gate 3 has ridden very well indeed.
Just to confirm then, they are the standings. Ward, Woofenden, Everson, Zagar, Hancock, Holder, Pedersen and Lindgren. 4 riders on 8 points. They all qualify for the semi-finals here in Prague tonight, but the race for the world title taking another dramatic twist here. You have to feel some sympathy for Christoph Kasperzak. That knee injury has been a hammer blow in his hopes of becoming world champion. Gate 1, pretty favourable.
Yeah, that's no surprise. It's the shortest way to the first corner, and there's a little bit of grip down there. The inside gates have been quite good, and gate 3, I have to say, certainly boosted by the performances of Woofenden, has looked pretty decent as well. It'll be very interesting to see what way they go for the semi-final for their gate picks. Never easy in actual fact. Sometimes you don't want to have the choice. You'd rather just be told which one you're going to go off because it's not clear. But I would think that Darcy Ward would go for gate 1. But the last 2 races he's won off gate 2, so he may well feel comfortable going from the gate 2 position. Interesting. Looking forward to seeing which way they choose. Never easy.
Absolutely. 44 points now, Darcy Ward, in the World Championship. And by my reckoning, KK, Greg and Nicky are on 42. Ty's on 41. And then,
there we go.
That's not bad, is it?
It's great. And as we came into tonight's meeting, there was probably 10 riders at least in the World Championship chase, and it looks like it's going to continue. Woofenden, the big mover, alongside Ward, of course, charging up the charts. Zagar's ridden well again. He's well and truly into the top 8 after a slow start to this year's Grand Prix series. So, yeah, riders of class beginning to show their mettle. As you've said, KK, Kasperzak, you feel for him because he was in such brilliant form. When he won in Bydgoszcz, it was just an outstanding ride. And then he got hurt in Landshut in a pairs meeting, and he's struggling since. So here we go for the first semi-final. Track preparation going on. Track's been okay, a little bit slick, tough to pass. Starting on course has been of paramount. Fans just relaxing before the 2 semi-finals. Here we go now for the pick. Ward's in the hot seat. He comes up. Will he go for 2? He won the last 2 rides from gate 2. Yep, he fancies that. And he goes out of gate 2 in blue. Zagar looked fast tonight. He has looked fast. Goes for gate 3, fancies the opportunity to sweep round, or if he doesn't get there, he could turn back to the inside. Holder won't be too unhappy about going off gate 1. So the 2 Aussie boys in the same team going head-to-head in the first semi-final, and Nicky Pedersen comes off the outside. Don't rule him out. He can always pull off something quite miraculous. So, first semi-final done. Ward off gate 2. Be interesting to see. Holder, his teammate, off the inside. Zagar off gate 3, and Pedersen off the outside. Second semi-final coming up. World champion looking good, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's been riding so well. He comes up.
Well, he got 16 points in Tampere.
Certainly did.
12 tonight, 28 points in 2 meetings. Not bad.
Terrific. Not an easy choice for him. He's been winning. Probably he's made starts from everywhere, but gate 2 again is the favoured choice for the first pick in both semi-finals. Everson, that might well have made his mind up for him. He's quite comfortable to take the inside gate, so yeah, he's pretty satisfied with that. Hancock, I would suggest, will go gate 3.
There you go.
Absolutely, not too bad. And Lindgren will be then having to make the best of it from the outside. The outside has proved to be tough tonight, Nigel.
The only thing I would say with Freddie is he is very good at going wide and then doing the cutback move. Might work, but it's a tall order. It's tough, no doubt about that. The beautiful city of Prague. But this World Championship race ahead of the semi-finals, it really is absolutely fascinating now. Darcy Ward, 44. Christoph Kasperzak, who won't ride again tonight, 42. Greg Hancock and Nicky Pedersen also on 42. Ty Woffenden and Chris Holder, 40. And Matti Zagar, 39. Who will be the World Championship leader going to Melilla in 2 weeks' time? Looks like it will be Darcy Ward, but anything can happen over the next 3 heats.
Well, yeah, and often does. And not always easy once you've dominated the meeting to then continue on. You know, you pressure on you then to keep winning. And 7 wins is no easy task. So Ward will be desperate to make sure he gets to the big final, having dominated the first 20 races. And he's picked his favoured gate. He's won his last two rides from gate 2. And he's coming out of gate 2 in the first semi-final. But what a first semi-final it is, Nigel. Holder, Ward, Zagar and Pedersen could easily be a final. Riders now preparing for that big semi-final. Pedersen keen to get on with it.
Up to the bike. I'm wondering what he's going to do here, Nicky. From gate 4, he'll know there's only one race win. He's going to have to pull something special out here.
Yeah, and you wouldn't put him past him doing something pretty special. Hancock just having to be patient. He's coming out of gate 3 in the second semi-final, but Pedersen up early. He's on his bike, keen, raring to go.
Gets the hairdryer treatment. And yeah, it's a pretty hot, humid evening here in Prague. We've seen some fast and furious speedway as well.
Brilliant lineup, brilliant lineup. Holder suddenly found a start in his last ride, didn't he, Nigel? And he got him quick, so fast. Ward, obviously. This is when it's a little difficult. These two boys have been teammates in several clubs around Europe, still are.
Big pals as well.
Big mates. But now you've got to put that to one side because they are alongside each other in the first semi-final on the tapes. And you cannot allow any sympathy towards one another. You've got to get to the front. You've got to get to the final.
I remember Darcy back in, 2010, he used to follow Chris around the GP circuit, and there was a bit of a joke that he was Chris's manager.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, he'd just follow him around just to lend him his support. Fancied a weekend away. And he thought, right, I'll go and support Chris in the GPs. Now he's up against him.
And now he's the danger man.
With a world title on the line.
Exactly. So that dynamic has changed very differently indeed. He's the man now leading the World Championship. Been dominant here this evening on 15 points. And Chris, the former world champion, will do very well to beat him. Zagar is also a threat, isn't he? He's certainly has looked good tonight. Bike's fast. Anton Nischler doing a good job for him. Certainly the two Oslo boys with the PJR engines in, they've been fast again. And Pedersen on the outside. What a first semi-final we've got here. This is going to be a real treat.
Here we go then, the first semi-final here in Prague. And what a lineup it really is. And the World Championship wide open as well.
Change of bike there for Nicky Pedersen, Nige. Clearly dissatisfied with the performance of the previous one, so he's rolling the dice a little here. Nothing to lose. He's crept into the semis. He's run out of steam in his last 2 rides. Just 1 point from his last couple of rides. So, World Championship standing. Ward, 44, Hancock, 42, Pedersen in this heat as well on 42. Woffenden, the world champion, coming out in the next one. Holder on the inside on 40, really very tight indeed. Vital race in prospect, big World Championship points on the line.
Absolutely, mouth-watering lineup here in Prague. And we hope you've enjoyed our coverage once again here tonight on this hot evening in Prague, and it's going to be tense on the start line there.
Too right. Rather than to me. It's dramatic stuff. But it's been tough tonight to pass, but now we're coming to the business end of the night. A really interesting first semi-final.
Here we go with the first semi-final, and what a lineup. Chris Holder, 8 points to his name so far. 40 World Championship points. Game number 2 is the new series leader, Darcy Ward, a maximum man tonight. 15-point maximum, leads the standings on 44. Matti Zagar is off game number 3 with 12 points to his name. And Nicky Pedersen, who is one of 3 riders on 42 GP points after 4 rounds. He goes off the outside gate but has won only 1 race all night. This is the first semi-final of the Czech Republic Grand Prix here in Prague. Riders settle down, ready for action. And Ward from the start, just avoided the tapes.
How close was that?
Oh, that was a heck of a gamble from Darcy Ward.
Too right, that was unbelievable. How on earth he didn't touch the tapes?
He's so
it's a miracle.
There.
He is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is luck, because that just shows you suddenly the pressure builds have been dominant throughout the night. Such a big lineup.
It is all.
Well, I'd like to see that now. This is. Look how close that got. That must have been millimetres away.
Yeah, he's gone early, and sometimes when things like that happen, maybe you start to think it's going to be my night. I've got away with it.
Yeah, he did get away with it. They've gone back round, but that just shows an indication of the pressure on this race. Everybody very much aware that this is a terrific lineup. The fuel there just been shaken out of the fuel tank there. It was overfilled. Zagar off the bike. Clutch coolers out. Fans everywhere, keeping bikes and men and machine rather cool. Yeah, he was a lucky man there, Nigel, because he was very impatient. He was very keen to get away with it. And how on earth he missed the tapes, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll start again. Why are they making so many changes here? It looks as though they're making changes to the bike skull.
Yeah, sometimes I get frustrated. I think they should be waved straight back round, but
I've never heard you say that before.
Really? No, well, I'm saying it for the first time. I can assure you. But what they're actually doing, they're getting the fans on the clutch to cool the clutches down, and also just make sure that the rear chain adjustment is spot on, because they can slacken off quite quickly. But really and truly, I think that's not absolutely necessary.
For action now. Darcy Ward comes up to the start line. He's first to appear. A man who has had intensive physio. He's actually been to Bournemouth Football Club as well for extensive treatment on that knee injury. It seems to have done him a world of good. Pretty sure he will be having surgery in October, at the end of this season, to repair the knee ligament damage. But
yeah, almost certainly.
Got a world title to race for here. As we say, he mentioned on his Twitter account earlier today, I wish I was 100%. Well, he's not doing too badly considering he isn't. First semi-final then in the Marchiata Stadium, second time of asking.
You can sense the tension, can't you?
Yes.
It was obviously, Ward was very keen to get on with it in the initial stagings, and now as they build up, they dig around on the start line, the whole stadium, you can sense the focus of attention is on the 4 riders.
Here we go again. Chris Holder going off the inside gate in red, with Darcy Ward going off gate 2 in blue. Matti Zagar gate 3 in white from Slovenia, and Nicky Pedersen going off the outside in yellow. It's tough off the outside gate, but if anybody can do it, Nicky Pedersen can do it.
Yeah, he may look to cut back to the inside, of course, and sort of like squeeze riders up down the back straight and force his way into a qualifying position, first or second, that means, for the big final tonight. Hasn't had a lot of speed these last couple, so hence the change of equipment. He'll be keeping his fingers crossed that it works out, because there's some real big hitters in this race on the inside of him. Zagar fast, Ward dominant throughout the night, Holder looking much more like it in his last ride. Here we go, second time around.
The call to the start line, here we go again. Green light time. This time, Ward's made a good one once again off gate number 2, so is Zagar on 3. Ward comes the inside line, Zagar is going to come right around the outside. Matti Zagar is there, and Pedersen now is going to challenge Darcy Ward. The lead is with Matti Zagar, and Nicky Pedersen is coming around the outside, and now Ward is really got to work hard.
Pedersen roaring around the outside, Ward has to respond. Down the back straight, Pedersen dead in. Down something on that second ride. Roars into second place, they go the way out in front. Has Ward got any answers for Pedersen? He's desperately looking for a way through. He's dominated the
Nicky Pedersen really worked hard there, and Matti Zegar is in terrific form and is in the final yet again, and with a chance of a second successive Grand Prix victory.
Wow, didn't see that coming. How on earth is Darcy Ward, who dominated the Grand Prix, misses out? What a ride from Pedersen. Zegar was superb out in front. Ward had no answer once Pedersen got through. Just couldn't find a way back to second place in the final. That's a shot.
Zegar the winner with Pedersen second. It's the Australian boys who miss out. Darcy Ward who finishes the night on 16. And Nicky Pedersen 10. Zegar on 15 into the final. Chris Holder finishes the night on 8 points. 40 GP points. Darcy Ward is on 45 now.
Zegar so fast here in this first semi-final. We're away initially. It's neck and neck as they get into the first corner, and Ward elects to go right round the inside. That leaves the door wide open. Zegar screams down the back straight and fires himself to the front. But you've got to give Pedersen a lot of credit here, because he charges into the bottom corner and he really does find the extra speed, and he gets the better of Ward. That was an excellent effort. Possibly Ward, if he could do this again, hindsight a wonderful thing, I know. He rides a little bit too tight. Yeah, I can understand his move on the first corner, and then he runs to the inside here, and that leaves racing room. And Pedersen, you have to say, chances his arm and swoops round the outside, and a real hard charging ride from the three-time champion to get himself in the second final and into the final. But Zegar, what a ride. He's in vintage form right now.
Now the World Championship. Darcy Ward finishes tonight on 45 World Championship points. This man is now on 44. So he can lead the World Championship going to Manila in a fortnight's time.
And what a remarkable effort that is when you consider the last two rides. He only got 1 point. It didn't look like he was going to do anything. And then, as you rightly said, Nigel, if anybody can do it from gate 4, Pedersen can, and he duly delivered. Brilliant.
Niels Christian Iversen off the inside in red here. Ty Woffenden, the world champion, gate 2 in blue. The remarkable Greg Hancock, gate 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren is going off the outside in yellow. Another terrific lineup here, the second semi-final, who is going to join Matti Zegar and Nicky Pedersen in the final of the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix here in Prague.
Well, on the evidence of the first 5 rides for each rider, it was a distance of 2 riders on the inside, Iversen and Woffenden, but we've just seen a big shot in the first semi-final. We're going to see another one now.
Here we go. Get away from gate number 2 for Ty Woffenden, and he has that lead. That was a smooth start, and Lindgren has jumped up the inside. What a ride from Freddie Lindgren, and Hancock now. Here comes Hancock into turn 3, takes out Lindgren, and it's Greg Hancock who holds second place. It's Woffenden with the lead. Hancock is second. Iversen now having a go on Freddie Lindgren for third place, and has come through. And Lindgren has gone to the back. But Kelvin, that was a textbook hit from Ty Woffenden.
Yeah, fantastic start from the champion to get to the front out of gate 2. Absolutely supreme. They've made an adjustment to the kit. The last 2 starts have been brilliant. He's out in front dominating. Excellent effort there from Greg Hancock to get the better of the riders going into the bottom corner to get himself to second place. Looking like he's going to make the final. Iversen will be frustrated. He's been good tonight, but not quite good enough to make the final. The world champion out in front. He sails through. He's going to make it, Nigel.
This will put Ty Woffenden 2 points off the lead in the World Championship. Remarkable here in the Czech Republic, and the British fans all around the stadium who've travelled here in big numbers are delighted with that. And what a performance from Greg Hancock. Herbie Hancock, who turns 44 next week. Absolutely remarkable. And it's Woffenden who goes through to the final for the second successive Czech Grand Prix. It can't happen again, can it?
Well,
surely not.
Well, the evidence of the way he's riding, it surely can. Brilliant stuff from Woffenden. Brilliant away from the tapes.
Woffenden at the scene of his only Grand Prix victory of his career. Hancock second there, and it means that Woffenden is on 15 points now. Lindgren finishes the GP on 8, with Iversen getting third. And what a performance from Greg Hancock, who himself, by the way, well, the top of the standings is now Darcy Ward 45, Greg Hancock and Nicky Pedersen 44, Ty Woffenden 43.
Yeah, well, he's done so well, Woofenden. 16 points last time out in Finland, and another hatful of points here this 15 points so far this evening. So what a ride it has been. Great move from Hancock down the back straight to get to the better of Lindgren, and then Everson comes through into third place as well. But Woofenden, while all that action's going on behind him, what a start. Dropped the clutch, absolutely spot on. Brilliant reaction, and he's comfortably in front. Real good action behind, and you've got to say that Hancock's brave here, allows the bike to run nicely in there. It's a tough move, but it needed to be because he was very keen to make the final tonight. Woofenden just left them for dead away from the tapes, and Everson there in no man's land gets relegated to the back, and although he makes third, that's not good enough for the final, and he'll be disappointed once again not to have made the final. So tight in the World Championship chase. I'm sure, Nigel, you're going to come up with a few facts and figures once again, but Woofy, the world champion, he's in the final.
Yeah, Ward on 45. Here we go. And there was me just calculating all this, but it's all done for me.
Somebody else has done it for you. It's nice.
Hancock 44, Pedersen 44, Woofenden on 43, and Zagar 42. 4 of the top 5 in the world right now are in this grand final, and the series leader Ward isn't. So, who is going to lead going to Melilla? The grand final is on the way.
Yeah, fabulous meeting now. It's so tight in the championship race. Woofenden has been in tip-top form tonight. Hancock has ridden well. Such a campaign, and he never throws the towel in. He's looked a little bit out of sorts at times tonight. He's been beaten up at one stage earlier this evening, but he's in the final again. And that is a fantastic effort from the veteran American. Don't put it past him. If he jumps off the start, he could win it. He's been a bit unfortunate last time. He just made a poor start on the inside, and Big Goshy was also in the final and just missed out, so he'll be desperate to get on the rostrum here this evening. But yeah, it's really livened up, and the last few races have been quite dramatic.
If Woofenden wins the final, there's a good chance he could lead the World Championship. If it's Woofenden, Zagar, Hancock, Pedersen, if it finishes like that, Woofenden will lead the World Championship. Anyway, let's head down to the pits. Niels Christian Everson is with Jason Harold.
Well, Niels Christian Everson, you got the favoured inside position. What happened?
Made a shit gate, that's all.
Sorry about the language, but he's summing up his feelings. It can be a cruel sport, this Speedway, because all night you've been plodding away, made it to the semis, and it didn't quite happen for you. But you're in that clutch of riders on 40-odd points, so you're still in the mix.
Yeah, definitely tonight's meeting was good for me. I was on the pace all night, not in the semi, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
There was one ride where you were looking to change that bike, and then you went out and won it. But you're glad you didn't now.
Yeah, I swapped bike after second race. I felt like I needed a bit of power, but here in the end of the meeting, the track was slick again, and we should have done something else.
This is giving you good momentum to go forward to Melilla, though.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 points in my 5 races is good. It's a good result for me, and it's definitely the best I've been so far this year. But what can you say? You need to step it up when you get to the semis, otherwise your night will end, and that's how it went today, but definitely it's a step forward for me.
Well, it's great you're kicking on, Niels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, that wasn't easy. Fair play to him, because you can see he's disappointed, but he was so desperate to make the final this evening, so yeah, you can feel for him on that score. But tomorrow when he wakes up, 13 points, pretty decent effort.
Yep, terrific night here then, here in Prague, the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix, and another dramatic twist, and Melilla in a fortnight's time. That is going to be tasty, very tasty.
Oh yeah, and it's a great racetrack too. We've seen some superb action there in the past, World Cups of course as well, and I don't doubt that we weren't there last year, so we're going back to Melilla, and I'm sure it'll be a thriller in Melilla, that's for sure. Have you heard that before? I think that's fairly original.
Dear, oh dear. Yeah, I used to use that a lot, but I thought, nah, it's old-fashioned now. It's to run its course,
Past
but
its
doesn't
sell-by
stop
date.
you though, Kel, does it?
No, steam straight in.
So yeah, we prepare for the gate picks. Beautiful evening here in Prague, and fans have enjoyed themselves, and just this race for the World Championship. We're a third of the way through after tonight.
Just a quick word about Darcy Ward. He will be feeling frustrated, I would suggest. Scored a lot of points tonight, but having dominated, he will be bitterly disappointed that he's not in the final.
Which one do you fancy? Which gate?
Okay, I'm going to go for gate 2, Nigel. I think that's been very successful, and I suspect that there's going to be Ty Woofenden coming out of there. I'd be surprised if he doesn't take that.
Yep, and here we go with the grand final coming up here in the Markéta Stadium, Prague. Just waiting for the riders now. And here we go.
So, Ty Woofenden, yep, the world champion comes up, and he's going for gate 2, no surprise, and he's chuffed with that. Zagar, who is very much a danger. He has shown terrific speed, and he's grown in stature as the night's gone on. He had that in his semi-final, if my memory serves right. And he comes out of gate 3. Hancock would think he'll almost certainly go for the inside gate. No-brainer. And don't rule about him. Nicky gets gate 4 again.
No problem.
And as he proved in his first semi-final, no problem at all. Nothing to lose for Pedersen here, I would suggest.
Yeah.
How on earth he's hung in there is purely on instinct and sheer guts and determination. Hancock, Woofenden, Zagar, Pedersen chased his line up for the final.
Absolutely. I think over the last 2 GPs now, Matej Zagar has come of age as a Grand Prix rider. He has proved now that he's right up there with the very, very best.
Can only agree with that. You know, you win a Grand Prix and all of a sudden, you know, you become a winner on the biggest stage, and there's no question your confidence then grows enormously, and he's now backing it up with another big performance. And I think I may have said that, you know, he's the sort of rider that's taken quite some time to win a Grand Prix, but now he's won one. I just think he may well go on and win several. So Everson did last year, didn't he? He won one and then won another one. So Zagar may do something very similar here tonight. But back-to-back wins for Woofenden at the Markéta. Well, you've got to say that he's got to be one of the favourites for it, hasn't he?
Yep, very much so. And if you have just joined us here tonight, Great Britain's Ty Woofenden is into the final here in the Markéta Stadium, and this is the track where he won his one and only Grand Prix victory last year on his way to the world title.
And I know that Woofy would desperately like to win another Grand Prix. He feels that he hasn't won enough. He's world champion, but he's a proud man. He likes winning meetings. Came so very close, of course, 2 weeks ago in Finland on his return to form in the World Championship. Another brilliant performance from the world champion, and is really relishing the role of being champion now. He's growing in stature. Not easy when you win your first Grand Prix. So much attention throughout the winter, and suddenly the racing starts, and he felt a little bit lost at times. But now, all of a sudden, riding, well, you can see he's comfortable, he's relaxed, and riding brilliantly.
Yep, very much so. So we're into the grand final here, and a reminder of the World Championship. Darcy Ward leads the World Championship on 45, but he is not in the final. Greg Hancock, this man, is on 44 points with Nicky Pedersen, both in the final. Ty Woofenden on 43 and Matej Zagar on 42, both in the final. Will we have who is going to be the new leader of the World Championship going into Melilla in a fortnight's time? Can Ty Woofenden win a second successive Czech Republic Grand Prix? Woofenden and Zagar with 1 GP win each. Hancock and Pedersen with 30 between them.
Here we go then, the big final. They're coming out onto the track. Fabulous lineup, really not an easy call. I would suggest that the evidence of Woofenden in the last few races, so good away from the tapes, he would be favourite for me, and I do believe my colleague alongside me fancied him for tonight's Grand Prix. So Nige, we're getting close, and I think I may have fancied Hancock, so we've got this far, we've done okay.
Yeah, I just think that the way Woofy is gating now, the way he's making the starts, I just think that, you know, it's an omen from last year as well, but hey, Zagar, he can make a case for all 4 of them here.
No, without doubt.
Fantastic final, really looking forward to this. Grand Prix Speedway here, the grand final in the Czech Republic. Who will win the meeting and who will be the World Championship going into Melilla in 2 weeks' time? 23rd race of the night, the grand final. This promises to be an absolute treat in front of a packed stadium here at the Markéta, here in the beautiful city of Prague. The grand final then, the riders ready for action. Here we go with the grand final then of the Czech Republic FIM Speedway Grand Prix. It's Greg Hancock going off the inside in the red helmet colour with 71 final appearances before tonight to his name. Gate number 2 in blue is Ty Woffenden, the reigning champion, got to 7 GP finals in his brief career so far. Matti Zagar, who really has come of age as a genuine world-class Grand Prix rider over the last 2 GPs. Gate 3 in white. And Nicky Pedersen, second successive outing from the outside gate in yellow. Can he work overtime and get the victory here in the final?
Well, he certainly worked overtime in his semi-final to make it this far. Zagar's been hugely impressive. He's shown terrific speed all night long. The two boys on the inside have made great starts. Woffenden probably the favourite for me. Great line-up, big final, 4 laps of action. Here we go.
Here we go then. It's the grand final here in the Markéta Stadium. Away from the start, and Woffenden has been a beauty. Now he led in Finland a couple of weeks ago. Can he hold his nerve? Can he get the victory? This would be a real fairy tale story here. He won it here last year, and now he has the lead again. Hancock's taking Pedersen wide. Pedersen is third. Zagar is at the back, but Zagar comes through now. They're all bunching up for third place here, but the lead is with Ty Woffenden of Great Britain, who's got time to look over his shoulder.
Yeah, fabulous start once again from Gate 2 from the world champion. Absolutely brilliant away from the tape. He's out in front. Hancock had to work really hard to get the better of Pedersen, and Zagar's come through into third place. The champion led for 3 3/4 laps last time in Finland. Just needs to remain composed, and then the Grand Prix win will be his. He's clear, away out in front. The world champion looking great.
If it stays like this, Ty Woffenden and Greg Hancock will be joint leaders of the World Championship going into Milan on 46 points apiece. But Ty Woffenden is on the verge of a second successive Czech Republic victory. It's Ty Woffenden of Great Britain, the reigning world champion, who pulls off a magnificent win here in Prague at the Markéta Stadium. The British fans who travelled in big numbers across here to the Markéta Stadium celebrate in style, and it's Ty Woffenden who celebrates the victory here in Prague.
Yeah, what a performance from the world champion. It's just got on so well in the last few races. His starts have been impeccable. Brilliant out of Gate 2. The champion repeats the victory from 12 months ago. Excellent stuff from him. Super stuff from Hancock back in second place. Terrific night of Speedway. Zagar will be slightly disappointed, but he's on the rostrum. Pedersen couldn't pull off the miracle he required coming from the outside, but Ty Woffenden really strong tonight. Had a couple of races there where he just had a bit of a wobble in the middle of the meeting. British fans delighted, but the world champion back to his best. Second Grand Prix win of his career rather. And Woffenden certainly going to be a threat for a second world title right now.
Well, he leads the World Championship with Greg Hancock on 46 points. 18 points Woffenden scores. What a turnaround in his season. It's only, about 5 weeks ago that he left Big Gosh, pretty down about things.
Yeah.
And here now, he is joint leader of the World Championship. He won here last year, his first ever Grand Prix victory. And now he's got Grand Prix victory number 2 at the same venue. What a result for Ty Woffenden.
Yeah, I can only agree with that. That was something very special indeed, and he's absolutely delighted with it. And rightly so. Gate 2 in his last 2 riders in the semi-final and the final proved to be perfect. Look at this, the bike absolutely jet propelled. He's comfortably in front. Pedersen does well initially from the outside, but just can't quite get across. It's really tight. Greg Hancock down the back straight. He runs in there deep. Pedersen had done this to him earlier on and really did kill the momentum of Hancock. Look at Zagar then coming roaring up the inside and gets himself into third place. But the world champion so strong away from the tapes. In such a competitive race in a big final, he rides absolutely supremely well. Doesn't override the bike this time and make that mistake where he did in Finland, where he pulled a big locker and actually gifted the win to Zagar, you would suggest. This time, 4 immaculate laps. Superb performance. And I've got to say, he's come from nowhere in the last 2 Grand Prix to now be at the head of the World Championship table. Super stuff from Woofenden. What a ride.
Brilliant ride from Ty Woofenden. Stands on top of the world with that man, Greg Hancock now. Let's hear from the winner. Ty Woofenden is with our man, Jason Harold.
Well, here he is. The man who's just nudged himself into pole position, Ty Woofenden. Second consecutive final. You shot out in front. There was no way you were going to lose this, was that?
Well, I started the night making starts, made some setup changes, didn't quite work, so we changed again and I finished strong, you know. But I just like to thank all the boys that are working with me. You know, this season, the whole team setup that I've got at the moment is working well. Didn't start the best of the season. We worked hard, we got through it. Looking forward to the rest of it.
What do you put that turnaround down to in your form?
It's for me to know, and you guys can never find out.
How does it feel then to be back on the top step?
Yeah, great, and leading the championship, but it's a long season, so you know, let's not try to run before we can walk. There's still a lot of boys out there that are going fast that can take it away, but we'll work as hard as we can and keep doing it for the fans.
Well, enjoy it up there, enjoy the national anthem. Ty Woofenden, congratulations and thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, it really is turning into a remarkable year when it comes to the championship standings. Look at this. That was after round 3. And now we see Ty Woofenden and Greg Hancock leading the series on 46 points, with Darcy Ward on 45, Nicky Pedersen on 44, Matty Zagar 43, Christoph Kasperzak 42, Chris Holder 40, Freddie Lindgren's on 38. Really is truly remarkable. 6 points separate the top 7 in the World Championship. 4 separate the top 6. Really is remarkable. Here comes Ty Woofenden now onto the top step of the podium here in Prague for a second successive year.
Yeah, it's a fantastic performance from Ty Woofenden. Never easy coming back to a place where you've won before. You know you have good memories of the place, but certainly to come up and repeat the performance is something very special indeed. And when you consider the form he showed at the beginning of the season, no question it's been a remarkable turnaround, and the man looks like he really means business and is focused on the rest of the season. And Greg Hancock, remarkable performance from him again. He's on the rostrum, making finals. 3 finals on the spin for Hancock, and Zagar also. Here's the national anthem. Well, that's made the trip worthwhile, isn't it, when you see the Brits there coming over to Prague and we get a British winner for the second consecutive year. Big smiles all around.
It's time he won it somewhere else, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's time he won it somewhere else.
Absolutely, yeah. He needs to win next time. Yeah.
I'll take you.
No, it's been a smashing night. It was a bit predictable early on, but it warmed up nicely and riders really started pushing hard. And when you consider how close the championship chase is from the points perspective, it really is very exciting indeed. Great effort from Zagar. He's backed up that win 2 weeks ago with a solid 3rd place here tonight. As you said, Nige, he's growing in stature, coming of age at this level of Speedway. Hancock, we know all about him. You know, still never ceases to surprise. That he is still competitive at nigh on 44 years of age. And done a great job to make 2nd place here tonight.
Yep. Congratulations then to Ty Woofenden. Great effort from Greg Hancock as well, it has to be said. Magnificent effort. Matty Zagar, 3rd place after winning in Tampere a fortnight ago as well. But here's Ty Woofenden getting the spoils of victory, and well deserved as well.
Too right. It's been absolutely sensational, really, when you consider how dominant Darcy Ward was. Suddenly, when it came to the semi-finals, Woofenden upped his game and found the secret to the start. And he really was then in a different class. And it was nigh on unbeatable. Champagne time, fully deserved. And all round, Zagon has made the start of the Champagne race, that's for sure. And but no, Ty Woofenden's back. And clearly he's going to be a major threat for another world title.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Many congratulations to Ty Woofenden. Written off by some at the start of the year, but well, he's back and back with a vengeance.
Yeah, but when he gave that interview after Bidgoss night, I've got to say I was concerned. He really did look down in the dumps, but whatever it is, he's keeping it a secret, and rightly so. It's working a treat because it's back to the Woofenden that we saw riding last year. Relaxed, determined, fast, clinical out on track. So yeah, a great ride from him here tonight. And as I say, this championship is now really building up nicely. Superstar.
Yeah, fantastic as people make their way out of the stadium now, but it has been a truly remarkable effort from this man. Fantastic effort from Darcy Ward with that maximum in the qualifiers. Have to pay tribute to Greg Hancock as well, leading the World Championship with Woofenden, going to the Melilla GP.
Yeah, absolutely, and Melilla's really going to be a thriller, and I would suggest that you've got to feel for Darcy Ward, because after 15 points from 5 rides, to have missed out on the final, he'll be kicking himself, I would think. Just didn't quite pull it off, did he? Felt that he needed to ride the inside, and Zago and Pedersen really was a spoiler in that race. And Nicky Pedersen somehow scrapped his way into the final tonight, and although he hasn't been that dominant, somehow he keeps getting the points and keeping himself well and truly in the championship chase. Doesn't always do it, well, he sometimes does it ugly, doesn't he? But he won't worry about that. He's collecting points.
Yeah, brilliant effort then from Ty Woofenden. It was fast and furious out there, it really was. Matti Zegar's had another terrific night as well. Niels Christian Iversen will be satisfied with 13, but knows he could do better. But Kelvin enjoys your company tonight, and this World Championship really is fascinating.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, looking forward to the next one.
The FIM Speedway World Championship moved to the Marketa Stadium in Prague for round number 4 on a hot, sunny evening. Plenty of tourists in town, and the SGP's Stars of Shale ready to do battle once again as the race for the world title was hotting up nicely. Darcy Ward was the standout rider in the qualifying heats. Niels Christian Iversen made a good start and was looking quick, and Václav Milik in the thick of the action as the wild card as well. Several riders in contention for the World Championship after the withdrawal of Christoph Kasperzak a fortnight earlier in Tampere in Finland, and then we saw this drama with Milik and Jari Kampel. The ambulance was called for Jari Kampel initially, but thankfully both riders were able to walk away from that and take their place in the rerun, although Kampel wasn't the same rider, clearly feeling the effects. Pedersen ruthless on Hancock in that race. Darcy Ward's momentum continuing, riding quite beautifully and on his way to a 15-point maximum in the qualifying heats. It got down to make or break for Chris Holder. Nicky Pedersen really working hard as well, and it was a tight call for the semi-final places. Freddie Lindgren and Chris Holder on 8 points apiece, managing to sneak their way through in the business end of the meeting. Kasperzak struggling with that knee injury, was in agony after a race win, but Nicky Pedersen always in contention. You could never write him off. The Slovenian Matti Zegar continuing his good form. Pedersen did well to get the race under control after almost falling off the bike there, and he managed to qualify through to the semi-finals with an 8-point haul, but Kasperzak clearly riding through the pain. Chris Harris had a good battle with Greg Hancock in his last outing, and then it went down to the semi-finals, and this was absolutely fascinating. Nicky Pedersen working hard, and Darcy Ward missing out after a 15-point maximum. He failed to make the final. Gate number 2 worked a treat for Ty Woofenden, the reigning world champion, and he made his way towards a second successive victory. And he leads the World Championship with Greg Hancock level, going into round number 5 in Melilla, Sweden, next time out.